time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by Action247.com. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends.
2 weeks away from Christmas, right around the corner. Welcome in Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn. It is Sports 56 Middays, the Friday, December 11th, 2020 edition, as we get you set for the sports weekend. Hope your Friday is off to a great start. We're in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. They have their holidays at home sale going on right now. When you stop by, make sure you ask for an official Sports 56 mask while supplies last. Make sure you wear the mask. Also, the first hour of the program brought to you by Action247.com. It's a busy weekend in the world of sports, especially locally. You have the Tigers playing the regular season finale in football tomorrow at 2:30 against Houston. And then the Tigers basketball team, the men's basketball team, on the road in Atlanta at a neutral court to take on the Auburn Tigers. That's at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And the Memphis Grizzlies play their first of 4 preseason games as they'll take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we will discuss all three of those topics, plus much, much more. Pete Pranica, the television voice of the Memphis Grizzlies, will join us at 10:25. At 11:05, we'll talk college football with Chris Vanini, National College Football reporter for The Athletic. And then at 12:05, it's Matt Dillon for the Tiger Basketball Report. Also, we'll do our 5 favorite songs at 11:30. Today, we're talking songs with the word let in the title. You can text in at 67129 with your lists. If you're watching us live, you can message us with your lists at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. Also, 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll come your way in the final half hour. When we do have segments without guests, you are certainly entitled, if you'd like, to call us on the topics that we're talking about or anything in the world of sports, quite frankly, at 360-8255. First Bank phone lines. First Bank text line always open at 67129. Good morning. How are you, Eli?
I'm good. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Can't complain on a Friday.
Yeah, it's not bad right now. I know a little weather's going to be coming in, a little rain later on today. Got a cold front on the way, but the last couple of days have been absolutely beautiful. Of course, everybody's scrambling now for the holidays, and most of that being done probably online for a couple of reasons. They don't want to go out there in the public during the COVID-19, but also it's so much easier. Man, my wife is just taken to doing things online and having things just every day, appear at the house. I'm like, what is this? What's in this box? But
we love convenience.
It's a lot easier than going out there to the stores. I don't miss it. I don't miss shopping those final days of Christmas leading up to the big day, and you're just wall-to-wall parking at the malls. Oh, man, I do not miss those days.
Yeah, it's this is I wonder what Christmas shopping is like those last few days when normally places are just jam-packed, and I wonder what that's going to be like this year.
A lot less people, no question about it. Well, I noticed in the background you have what they call either a poinsettia or poinsettia. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So it must be National Poinsettia Day? Poinsettia?
Tomorrow is. Yeah, but
what's the official pronunciation of the word?
Just getting into the holiday spirit. Mm-hmm. Plus, it accentuates my bald head so nicely.
Yeah, you look good. You look good, man.
Just like I'm laying in a bed of flowers.
Yeah, you got a rosy glow on that bald dome of yours.
I don't know what the official pronunciation is. I call them poinsettias.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard both.
But I don't know what the I don't know if there is an official correct pronunciation or if both are acceptable pronunciations of it. But I don't throw the E in there. I just go straight poinsettia. But happy Poinsettia Day. Today, by the way, National App Day. So if you want to play on your phone today, play with your apps. It's National App Day. So have fun with that.
One of the
play with your favorite app as much as possible today on National App Day.
One of the newer national days The National App Day was not around back in 1990.
It might have been. They might have been talking about appetizers. You might go to your favorite restaurant and get your favorite appetizer that day.
I don't think so. NFL Week 14 kicked off last night with a snoozer. But if you listen to Brandon Lang yesterday on the program, he gave you the winner. He said, how did the Patriots score on that Rams defense? The Rams win going away 24-3. They improved to 9-4. The Patriots dropped to 6-7. Bill Belichick, after the game, Cam Newton is our quarterback. They brought Stidham in late in that game, and he was getting clobbered. I mean, Stidham can't move, and the rush was on top of him. Of course, the rush was on Cam Newton as well, but Cam just can't throw the ball anymore. So the fact that New England has 6 wins is an accomplishment. They are not a throwing team by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to have to win with defense and with running the ball. And in this particular game, the Rams' defense just way too strong.
Yeah, the Rams have been playing extremely well. And that defense, Aaron Donald is just
he's the best.
Goodness gracious,
the best in the business.
It is unbelievable watching him. How good he is. And then when you've got Jalen Ramsey on the outside, like that is a really good defense. And offensively, they got Cam Akers going last night, and he had the massive game. So you get that plus that group of wide receivers they've got. If Goff can play well, I mean that is a very dangerous team. But with Cam Newton, man, it is
painful.
It is like watching him throw the ball, especially trying to throw it more than like 10 yards down the field. It looks like it's work. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like it looks like Phillip Rivers. Like they look like it's putting everything they've got, and he is so inaccurate now with balls. Like he's just not able to throw the ball good enough to be an NFL quarterback right now.
Well, that's the difference between him and Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers may not have that arm strength and throws from the side, kind of shot puts it. He's right on target. For the most part, he's on target. Cam Newton was not. And they tried to establish that run. They tried the best they could. You had the 79-yard pick six by Kenny Young for the Rams. And Cam Akers, who has just taken that starting job away, unfortunately, from Darrell Henderson, was really good. 29 carries and 171 yards. But it was what you call a yawner.
They were, I saw this morning on ESPN, they were debating whether Cam Newton is still an elite NFL quarterback. He's not even an average NFL quarterback.
Yeah, you can debate whether or not he's a starting quarterback.
Elite,
right.
It's not even funny.
Absolutely.
Like he, at this point in his career, if he's fully healthy, which I have to believe he is if they're putting him out there, if that's what he is now, throwing the football, Cam Newton is basically a guy that maybe you roster just to use for goal line situations as a running quarterback who could also theoretically maybe actually throw the ball.
Yeah.
But he can't throw well enough to be a starting NFL quarterback anymore. It's not there. Last week when they won 45-0, he threw for 69 yards. I mean, he's throwing like for less than 150 yards on a regular basis. He's got 5 touchdowns and 10 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, yet Belichick comes out and says he's still their quarterback, which makes you wonder, Jarrett Stidham? That was even an option? They need to address the quarterback situation in a big way in the draft or free agency. They're going to have to do that. But anyway, it was, again, a boring game last night. College football, a lot of news, a lot of things going on in college football. First of all, as we talked about yesterday on the show, the noise had started about Blake Anderson. It becomes official. Blake Anderson steps down as head coach at Arkansas State to take the Utah State head coaching job. Not just because of more money. The reports were that they could pay him $1 million, and they are not paying $1 million at Arkansas State. But with everything that happened with the death of his wife, Wendy, and just the change of pace, the getaway, I mean, it makes an awful lot of sense. He was there a long time, won one outright conference championship in the Sun Belt, shared another, played in a third championship game. The guy was fantastic. It was a great run. Arkansas State has had a lot of really good coaches. And unfortunately for them, they've had a lot of coaches that have only stayed a short time, even a year. But this guy stayed for quite some time, 7 or 8 seasons. So now it's to find another coach. And they just continue to do a good job in evaluating coaches. So I'm sure they'll get a good coach in there. Keith Heckendorf has been named the interim head coach. Now, their game this week, they were playing a non-conference game against Incarnate Word, a 1AA. I don't know. Do they have another game scheduled? Are they going to have a makeup game of some sort in the Sun Belt on the 19th? Or is that it? But he's been named the interim because they still have to recruit. You got the early signing period coming up December 18th through the 20th. But Blake Anderson's been through hell and back, and he's done a marvelous job. Elsewhere, the big announcement that we were waiting for with bated breath yesterday when we saw that news towards the end of the show ended up not being as – it was big for the SEC, but not mind-blowing news that just excited all of us. It's the fact that the SEC is going to move their big game, that big 2:30 CBS game in 2024 and 10 years after that, because it's a 10-year deal, and who knows how much longer after that. But they're moving the games to the ESPN, Disney, ABC platform, and that game will be an ABC national game in the afternoon. In fact, they're going to have the choices to not only bring in the best from the SEC in football, but also in basketball. They're paying a lot more money than CBS was paying. In fact, CBS was getting a bargain for all those years. We're all used to that CBS game, Eli, so it's going to take a little while to get used to the change and the announcers, and we'll see what happens. But I always enjoyed Nestler doing those games, and obviously Vern before that. So it's going to take a while to get used to it, but we're not going to have to worry about it until 2024.
Yeah, I mean, this was basically, hey, look, we just got richer. I mean, like, that's what it is. It is. It's like, hey, man, remember how everybody thought maybe during the pandemic it'd be tough times? Well, look at us. We're just going to be getting richer and richer. More money for everybody. So take that. Let's go. Let's have fun.
Well, go ahead, Gabe.
Could he have not presented it in a different way when he said, we have a substantial announcement that we're going to have at 5? It's 2020. You have to sort of clarify or people are going to think the worst.
No,
exactly.
Because he got everybody, they did exactly what they wanted. They got everybody talking about it, wanting to know what it was, paying attention to what their announcement was.
Yeah, but like you said, in a pandemic and everything that's magnified, that's so much more important than football, the rich getting richer is not one maybe you want to draw attention to as much as you normally would. Okay, we know you're great, the SEC. We know you're great, but we know.
It's announcing we are still the Kings.
Well, you're going to probably prove that in the playoffs.
We are the number one conference. Just look at the money we're bringing in on this deal.
Well, if anybody thought anything differently with the way the Big Ten has bungled everything this year, they look like Keystone Cops. You're certainly not going to look at the Pac-12. The ACC, okay. The Big 12, come on now. I know I'm biased because I'm down here in SEC country, but I've lived it and breathed it and covered it for years and years and years now, and I know. I'm from the Northeast. I understand. You know, there's a Penn State. There's an Ohio State. There's teams certainly that are extremely important to the game of college football. The South as a whole, as a geographical area, is the most important thing to college football. And the SEC is the most important conference. So, yes, no surprise. But I'm with Gabe. I thought, what the hell's going on here? Is something wrong with Sankey? He's going to have to step down? No, they got a bigger deal for more money with ESPN/Disney/ABC. All right. Gary Barta, the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee and also the AD at Iowa, did recuse himself from the voting to change the rule in the Big Ten to allow Ohio State to play in the Big Ten Championship. So we were debating that, and I said he should. You said, why should he? But he ended up recusing himself, so I give him a little respect for that. Also, even though they voted it in without any difficulty, which we expected them to do, to change the rule, an original rule which was just dumb. But Indiana, according to everything I read, did have issues with it. They disputed it. I mean, they didn't make a big deal about it because they know they had their chance to beat Ohio State head-to-head. But certainly they were not in favor of a rule that was changed to benefit Ohio State. So just for the record, Barta did recuse himself. Indiana was not happy with those moves. Speaking of not happy, did you see the end of the...
Duly noted.
Did you?
Great.
Well, I mean, we debate things, and if I can get some facts to throw in there, I want to throw them in there. And it was only our opinions.
I'm not saying anything about you. I'm just saying good for Indiana. Thanks for objecting to your thing. Now move along.
Yeah.
Move along with your life.
Nothing to see here.
Get ready for your bowl game.
Nothing to see here. Moving along, nobody moved any faster, I think, in the history of handshakes with coaches than Jeff Collins last night after the Georgia Tech Pitt game. What was that all about?
Yeah, he's Jeff Collins is a different dude. I know he's intense and everything else. And that game got chippy. Apparently, I didn't watch a second of it, but I know there was apparently some a little brawl that broke out at one point and everything else. And yeah, that was not exactly a warm holiday handshake.
Well.
And I don't think that was, hey, I don't want to touch you too long because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor going around that Narduzzi, when they got to midfield, said, hey, you have a good young team, and Jeff Collins said, BS. Obviously, he didn't say BS. He said the extended version, but...
Oh, is that what he said?
That's the rumor going around right now.
What Narduzzi said...
He said baloney.
He told him, and then he said baloney and some other words or something like that.
So he was probably just giving this the G version. He said baloney, but it was BS.
But Collins, Narduzzi said, I told him, hey, you've got a great team. He said baloney or some other nice words and walked off. I don't know. I thought it was a good game. Collins said, I was just focused on getting our guys over to the band to celebrate. I don't even remember what I said, to be honest with you.
To celebrate?
Yeah, I don't know what it's celebrating the loss. Hey, band, we lost. Everybody celebrate. Whoa. I don't know. Collins is he's an intense dude. He's wired differently. And I don't know what he was upset about, or I don't know if there's anything that those two guys have any history of not liking each other, but that was clearly I don't want to shake your hand.
I've heard Jeff Collins in some pressers, and he's a salty guy, but I don't know him personally. All I know is what I read, and what I read about Jeff Collins is that he's kind of a jerk. So this one, I don't know how you can not look at it and go, come on, Collins. Take 2 seconds to look at Narduzzi, shake his hand like a man, and then move on. Right? I mean, that was just being a jerk. It was being a jerk. He was frustrated. They lost. I don't know what he said, Narduzzi, to make him mad. He said, you got a good what are you going to say if you're a coach? Hey, your team sucks. What are you going to say? You got a good team, good effort, nice game tonight. That's all you say. How you doing?
Job,
how's the family?
Effort.
Good game, good effort. Wear your mask. Put your mask on, Jeff. You didn't have your mask on half the time. I don't know that, but just what is he going to say?
I think the climactic part about it, though, is Narduzzi tried to pull him in for, the bro hug. And, it was a hard pull away. I think that's the thing that caught everybody's attention.
Hey, he's Italian. He's not Narduzzi. Come on, he's going to do that.
They're great. If you get the still shot of it right as he's doing it, looks actually like Narduzzi is, doing a wrestling move and doing the arm twist on him. It's actually a funny thing. It looks like he's actually trying to twist his arm, instead of just letting him go.
That's pretty funny. From college basketball, Ole Miss finally played their first game. They played Jackson State, and they dismantled Jackson State 80-45 last night at the Pavilion. Devontae Shuler looks like it's his team, Eli.
Yeah, he was really good last night. Shot the ball extremely well. I think it was 9 of 10 for the game and 5 for 5 from three-point range. But the newcomers looked good. I mean, they kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start, and then they called a timeout, and from that point on, it was just unbelievable. I don't know they went on a run that it seemed like Jackson State felt like an hour without scoring, but I know it wasn't quite that long. But yeah, they looked good offensively, but obviously the competition was lacking, and they're going to play a lot of games here. They've got 4 games in 7 days with that starting last night.
Jackson State needed Neon Deion Sanders to be coaching basketball as well as football. The Tigers and Auburn, so it's the Tigers versus the Tigers. We'll be discussing that with Matt Dillon at 12:05 during the Tiger Basketball Report. One other note, Nate Oates from Alabama, their head coach, I loved what he had to say about Coach K. Now, Coach K had come out, we discussed this on the show yesterday, saying that we just shouldn't be playing basketball. With everything that's happening with COVID-19, with games being canceled, games being postponed, whatever the case is, we shouldn't be playing. And then Nate Oates kind of said it, then the reporter said it, so he used the reporter as kind of you said it, I didn't, but basically saying that Coach K would probably not have come out and said what he said if the team was undefeated and didn't lose those 2 non-conference games at home. Some people have taken that as a just a real diss of Coach K. How do you dare do something like that? The Coach Mike Krzyzewski, the NCAA, or the henchman will be at your door ready to take you out, take your legs out because you can't say that against Coach K. Others have said, you know what, there's probably some truth to that. Coach K, if he was undefeated, probably wouldn't have come out and said that. Who knows if he would have or not. But I like that. I like it every once in a while when a coach, even the Jeff Collins thing last night, even though it was being a jerk, every once in a while it's just not the pleasantries and the happy talk and the coach talk. Nate Oates just telling it like it is through that reporter.
I love everything that Nate Oates said. And I always like anybody that fires back at Coach K. No, just Coach K. It's just Coach K.
Gotcha.
I don't care. But and I think he's absolutely correct about Coach K. But the other stuff that he talked about with the players and everything else, I thought Nate Oates was dead on in his comments. I mean, Coach K's talking about the welfare of the players and everything through this. They're college kids. Just look at these statistics. They don't get they don't even, this barely affects them. Even if they get it, it barely affects them. So the welfare of your players, they're fine. Even if they get it, they're fine. Mm-hmm. So I don't listen. I get it. You're an older gentleman. For Coach K, if he says, I don't feel safe as an older person, I'm more susceptible, things like that. If that's the case, and maybe he wants to step away for a while, but don't hide we just got to look out for the welfare of our players. The players are going to be fine. Mm-hmm. They're absolutely going to be fine. And to me, what Nate Oates said is what about the mental welfare of them if we don't play? We just tell them basically they got to sit there in isolation doing nothing. Most of these kids simply went or are at college because that's where they're playing basketball. They want to play basketball. So if you take the basketball away from them, you think that's going to be good and you think that's healthier for them if you take the basketball away from them? Right. That's ridiculous.
And Tom Izzo from Michigan State echoed those sentiments. He talked about that in the same vein, that how important it is for his players or for players in general to be able to do this, to get away from all the issues that we're dealing with in life right now and play the game of basketball.
I looked up on the CDC website, the number of total COVID deaths, any death that has anything to do with COVID, 0.1% of them are in the 15 to 24 age group. 0.1%. And we're acting like these players are in danger.
I hear you.
I mean, it's asinine to try and act like these players are in danger by playing basketball.
Platinum Jewelers, one of our terrific sponsors, is the Jewelers of the Stars, who wears jewelry from Platinum and endorses it. Jaron Jackson Jr., D'Angelo Williams, Anthony Miller, Mike Miller, Joe Theismann, Stephen Gostowski. Just to name a few, you've heard the spots, I'm sure. But you don't have to be a Memphis sports star to wear jewelry from Platinum Jewelers. Platinum Jewelers has something for everyone, and they specialize in bridal engagement rings. During the holidays, there'll be a lot of people getting engaged. They can customize what you're looking for in a ring, even from a photo. In addition, Platinum Jewelers has a huge selection of pre-owned Rolex watches and other luxury brands, plus earrings, bracelets, and rings of all types, a wide variety. They'll also pay top dollar for your gold, diamonds, and Rolexes. They can appraise your jewelry, do repair work, your one-stop shop for all your jewelry needs. Platinum has been serving the greater Memphis area for over 20 years. 2 convenient locations at 9387 Poplar Avenue in Germantown next to the Fresh Market, and 545 Perkins Extended at Poplar in East Memphis. Give them a call at 901-907-0626. Make sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And when you visit Platinum Jewelers or when you call them, make sure you talk to Preston Hudson and tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays. It's Platinum Jewelers, the Jewelers of the Stars. We're talking Grizzlies with Pete Pranica next. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5 FM.
Let Dave Voloshin and Brett Nordsworthy take you home with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
At Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and they are offering the Golden Opportunity December to Remember sales event.
Thanks, Stats. December to Remember is our biggest sales event of the year. We've got great deals on leases, special financing, 0% interest on 2020s and 2021s. Come see us at Lexus of Memphis.
Thank you, Brian, and happy holidays to all and Merry Christmas, and we look so forward to 2021 and this year to forget 2020, but we look forward to 2021 at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau, and thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
It's on Mid-South employee pricing for all during the Big Finish 2020. So get ready to save big with 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. IIHS Top Safety Pick $22,990 or $296 a month. Or power up with 2020 Dodge Charger $24,890 or $299 a month. And we're talking Ram Tough in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2 $31,999 or $399 a month. It's time to get your ride on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. 1901 Covington Pike or online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost finance through Chrysler Jeep Ram 3,500 cash down, Charger 4,500 cash down, 4.11 APR, Cherokee MD 15674, MSRP 28,050, Charger XST LH 248,348, MSRP 32,860, Ram LG 293,329, MSRP 37,855, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1, and the new FM 98.5.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
All I need is a TV show,
In a normal year, we would probably be, 6.5 weeks into the NBA regular season. But as you know, nothing is normal about the year that we have gone through here in 2020. The previous NBA season ending in a bubble in Orlando, and now the new 2020-21 season is ready to begin. The first preseason games begin tonight. The Grizzlies will open up their preseason slate tomorrow in Minnesota, and we are so fortunate, as always, to talk to one of the best television play-by-play announcers in the business. Pete Pranica, the voice of the Grizzlies. You can follow him on Twitter at Pete Pranica. He joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Pete, how are you today?
I am good. How are you guys?
Man, doing pretty good. I'm sure you've had to not only recharge, but try to fix your mental calendar. You're so used to a certain schedule, and that thing is all out of whack now. Are you ready to get back on the horse here and get ready for this new NBA season that is just about upon us?
Very much ready. It is, for a lot of people, a very compressed timetable, to get all the technical aspects in. And I know that the league office and league broadcasting office and the Grizzlies broadcasting office, they've been in constant conversations because I think as many people realize by now, Brevin and I and Fish and Eric on the radio side will not be traveling this year. So we'll be calling all the games remotely. And it was one thing to do it from a centralized location in Orlando, but now you're doing it from in market and sending a video feed back to the visiting team's broadcast area. So a lot of moving parts today, and still a lot of meetings before we get to tip off tomorrow.
And it's also a little weird, obviously, because you don't get to see nearly as much practices and things like that. So there's a lot of these new guys. You're kind of going in blind to this preseason games, right?
Very much so. Yeah, we've been told by the league office that there will be no face-to-face contact with anybody on the team or coaching staff. So anything that we do is going to be done via Zoom. Normally in a regular training camp, we might have an opportunity to view a little bit, but no, I mean, I physically have not been around Taylor Jenkins or anybody since we flew back from Portland back in March. So
wow,
so I mean, we are flying a little bit blind. It's going to be a different challenge for us to maintain the contact and get the information that we need in order to put out the best possible product. But like Greg, like you said at the top, I mean, it's 2020 and nothing is nothing is normal anymore.
Well, like you said, Pete, last year when you were doing the games at FedEx Forum, which was really strange when we would come to the game and we'd see you down there announcing it it's just the whole thing's strange, but you guys did a killer job. But now you said it's going to be a little bit different from the technology that was laid out there in the bubble for announcing. So what challenges will that bring for you guys broadcasting the games?
I think the bigger challenges is going to be from our tech people, getting a feed from tomorrow night from Target Center, and so you're dealing with 28 other NBA arenas and trying to get the signal back and the high-speed arena networks that the NBA has set up. For me and for Brevin, the challenge is going to be exactly as it was with the bubble, where you don't have day-to-day contact with players or coaches other than the standard media availabilities, and we're going to try to see if we can work with our PR staff to maybe get some one-on-one chats via Zoom in order to get a sense of, hey, who's playing well, who's really impressed in camp, because those are questions typically we would get to ask. And you guys know we get there 2 hours before a game, and player walks in, and we may say, hey, and may say, how you feeling, or what's going on, and we may get a bit of information that could find its way into the telecast by way of background. We're not going to have that, so it's going to be more of a challenge for us to gain those little bits of information that, hey, you can find out something from a player just riding an elevator with them at the team hotel. Well, we're not going to be at the team hotel this year, so we just have to figure out workarounds to get the very best and latest information for players and coaches.
How about little things like this? And I've done actually a boxing card at a remote television station because it went kaput, technology. And this was years ago before the advanced technology we have now. And it was certainly a challenge because there's no sound, there's no fans, there's no crowd, right? There's no ambiance. None of that's there. And again, calling it off the television when you've done it as many times as you have, I mean, I know that's second nature. But what you will probably not see, which you would normally see at a game, is, for example, this is the Minnesota feed. So they may do a cutaway of somebody on their bench, and they'll do cutaways, obviously, on the Grizzlies bench. But how about if a Grizzly player went over to the stationary bike because they had to loosen up something like their leg muscle, how would you get that information that somebody is maybe hampered because they may not show that cutaway to you on the monitor? Will you get that information fed to you by the PR department?
That's the hope. That's the plan. I mean, Rob Fisher's best sideline reporter in the business, and he won't have access to the sideline. So that's a challenge. So it's going to be incumbent upon our PR staff for them to give us information. Now, when we are in a road building, the feeds are going to be shared, but they're going to be cut in such a way, and I don't want to get overly technical here, but they're going to be cut in such a way that all feeds are coming back to Memphis, and our director can cut it with a Memphis perspective as best he can. So we can cut our own show, and we will have, my understanding is for road games, we will have control over one handheld camera that we can direct from Memphis, and they'll be Memphis-centric. So these are all the different kinds of workarounds that we've had to deal with. It's a tremendous technological challenge, and I know our group is up for it. It's like I said, it's strange. It's the new normal, and hopefully it'll only be this year.
Right.
Pete, again, you haven't had a chance to see them, but just with the idea of the weird off season, the draft being so late, no summer league for them, very limited camp time, all of that. What do you expect from the rookies with Bain and Tillman? What do you, especially early in the year, what can you think you can expect out of them?
Well, what I like about Bain in particular is he was a 4-year player, and I think that we've seen, and I always talk about the Malcolm Brogdon example. Somebody who's played for 4 years, they know how to play the game. Mm-hmm. Might need a little less coaching or seasoning than a one and done type of situation. And Xavier Tillman just strikes me as a phenomenally with it young man, and obviously with the tie to Jaren, I think there's going to be a comfort level there. So they may actually progress a little faster than your typical rookie. And given the fact that Jaren's not going to be able to play for a little bit, that might open some minutes for Xavier. And just watching Media Day, which I guess this year was called Content Day, just watching Desmond Bain's personality and how he handles things, I just see a level of maturity there that I think that we're going to see some good things from them early. Again, because they're not just one and dones, and I think that they have a maturity about them that they'll be able to come in and contribute.
Zach Kleiman, when he met the media weeks ago now, talked about the fact that Justice Winslow and Jaren Jackson Jr. will not be ready to go opening night, which is December 23rd against San Antonio. In all the conversations you've had with people and trying to gear up for the season and get information, do you have any more perspective on that? Maybe a timetable, anything that you've learned about those injuries of when we could see those guys back?
No, I wish I had some information, but I don't. I know that the Grizzlies have, as an organization, they've always been very conservative with bringing players back. You're looking at Jaren Jackson as being a long-term investment. They look at Justice Winslow as being a real difference maker for this team. So they are going to be very conservative and make sure that they're absolutely positively healthy, because the health of the players is going to come first. So having said that, I don't have a timetable. Not being around the building, not being around the team, not being around people. I'm really bereft of information. I hate to say.
You're in the dark with all of us, right?
Are you getting anxious to actually call a game with Justice Winslow in it?
Yes, very much so. I remember the season opener last year where Winslow almost single-handedly wrecked the Grizzlies. So I'm very eager to see what he can do, and I know this front office is, because they felt that he would be a difference maker, that he could be a tipping point because of his versatility to score the ball, to also distribute, and to defend pretty much any position on the floor. They're eager to see him. I'm eager to see him. Is he going to be the difference maker that they feel he can be? And also, can he stay healthy? Because obviously his tenure in Memphis has been injury riddled.
How much more of a challenge do you think it will be for Ja in his second season now that the league knows all about him?
Well, obviously teams are going to game plan for him. You have to. But, teams game plan for stars all the time, and stars still get their numbers, and stars can still be stars. He is preternaturally intelligent from a basketball perspective. He is hungry to be great. There are so many guys in our league who are good, and they maybe enjoy the lifestyle, they enjoy playing basketball for a living, they enjoy all the perks that come with it. But then there are guys like John Morant who just want to be great. Forget the money, forget the lifestyle, forget the hotels, forget the charter jets. He wants to be great. And that is what is going to set him apart. And I think you'll see him continuing to take big steps this year, work very hard at IMG Academy, add a little bit of weight, a little bit of muscle. And I think that he will continue his upward trend. And teams will game plan for him, sure. But Aaron Baines thought he had Ja contained last year in Phoenix. As anybody on social media, I think, has probably seen that done several dozen times already this morning.
All right, final thing for you, Pete. So we obviously know that John Morant has to come up big. Jaren when he's back, Justice Winslow, Jonas Valanciunas, the regular cast of characters for the Grizzlies to be as competitive as they were last season. And last season, they took, I think they took all of us by storm because the expectations certainly weren't high going into the season, and they were a fun team to watch. But who else, in your opinion, really has to step up, and maybe it's the rookies, but really has to step up for the Grizzlies to be back in that position, knowing how much stronger the West is?
I'm going to say Dylan Brooks. I mean, Dylan has to be – I mean, his defensive effort and intensity was phenomenal. His fouling, he needs to improve on that, and he admits that himself. I think he has to be better in his shot selection, and, you know, he can be a lights-out outside shooter.
Mm-hmm.
His attempts in the paint, he likes to get in the paint, but he doesn't finish as well probably as he should or as well as he would like or the Grizzlies would like. So, look, if you got a shooting guard / scoring guard, you got to shoot, got to score. That's going to be very, very important to allow John Morant to have a little bit more room to roam. So I think Dylan has to take a step forward. I'm very interested to see how Grayson Allen has progressed. We saw some great things from him in the bubble, and not merely three-point shooting, but his ability to score off the bounce. And if he can continue to do that, and one of the things Grayson has talked about in preseason camp, he said, you know, my floater was working in Orlando, and I want to continue to work on that aspect of the game so that if I get run off the three-point line, now I've got a real good, viable offensive option in order to score.
He is Pete Pranica, the TV voice of the Memphis Grizzlies. It all starts tomorrow, albeit a preseason game, but the guys are back on Fox Sports Southeast. Make sure to follow Pete on Twitter at Pete Pranica. Pete, thank you. We're looking forward to your calls. We appreciate your time as always.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too.
This hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by Action247.com. And last night, if you had some money on the Rams, well, that was good. That was a good thing for you. That's for sure. At Action247.com, you didn't have to sweat that one out. That was very simple. Just put it down and then let that just wait to collect the money as they dominated the Patriots. The folks at Action247.com. It's a website. It's owned and operated by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. They will match your initial deposit 100% up to $100 if you use the promo code WHBQ100. Make sure you got all capitals on the WHBQ. Starting Monday, they're going to be having some new stuff, some new 12 Days of Christmas promotions. They're going to be doing some different things each and every day with some bonuses and odds boosts and things like that. So keep an eye out for that as well. But get signed up. And they still have their free games. You can still play free games as well for a chance to win either free play in the sports book or for actual cash. You can play the free games as well at Action247.com. Download the app. Start playing today at Action247.com.
How important is the Tigers versus the Tigers on Saturday? How important is it for Memphis to knock off Auburn? We'll discuss when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184. I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Hey, Dave Woloshin here. I want to talk to you about my good friends at PrestoShutters.com. They're open right now, and prices don't get any cheaper for window replacement, window treatments, exterior shutters, inside plantation shutters, roller shades, blinds, whatever window fashion you need, they've got. Amazing deep discounts, including installation. Everything you need is American made. Visit PrestoShutters.com or call them at 901-244-7484. That's 901-244-7484.
All 75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69. MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZ 042383. MSRP 26,235. PEV LZ 038819. MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a 5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates in the SPF 695. Excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We gossip at Gossip Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander. $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 mpg. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV. $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I was working part-time in a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee.
The Memphis Tigers men's basketball team will be on the road in Atlanta at State Farm Arena, a neutral site court for their contest tomorrow with the Auburn Tigers, 4 o'clock Central. We'll get in depth about this game and about the Tigers team with Matt Dillon at 12:05 with the Tiger Basketball Report. But the importance of this game, I think, goes without saying. This, by the way, is only the second meeting all time between the Tigers and the Tigers. Back in 1953, I remember it well, Auburn won the first meeting 78-64 in a game that was played in Houston. So not a lot of history. You would think they would have played a couple of times in their history after 1953.
Yeah, that's a little surprising that they haven't ever met. Other than that, Auburn. This is certainly not a great Auburn team by any means. Very winnable game for the Tigers, and if you look at the Tigers' schedule, there's just not a whole lot of chance for great wins.
Right.
So you can't afford losses to average teams.
Auburn lost their top 6 scorers from last season. They're picked to finish 7th in the SEC. They've already lost to UCF. They lost to number 1 Gonzaga, but that's understandable. They have wins over St. Joe's and South Alabama, and they're led by a freshman, Justin Powell, at 14.5 points. So the scoring basically is gone. From a year ago, all those guys that helped Auburn be one of the most formidable teams in college basketball, they're not there anymore.
Well, and I mean, they lost a lot the previous year going into last year.
True.
And then with Bryce Brown and Jared Harper. This is, I was looking at just some stuff from Ken Palm on Auburn. 58% of their field goal attempts are from three-point range.
Wow.
That's number one in the nation, highest percentage in the nation. 58.4% of their field goal attempts are three-pointers. They do turn the ball over a lot. One of the worst in the nation as far as turnovers go. So, yeah, I mean, but if you look at the Tigers' schedule, right now Auburn is ranked 76th via Ken Palm. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at what's remaining, the only top 50 Ken Palm team on the schedule is Houston. So you just can't afford losses to average teams because there's just not much there as far as possible good wins.
Exactly. And while this looks nice because you're beating a Power 5 conference, and that's a term used more for football than basketball, but you know what I'm talking about. It's an SEC team, and it's Auburn, so they've had a pretty good run with Bruce Pearl as head coach, but it's a neutral court, so you're not getting a win on the road. It's not a road game per se, but you have to win. There's no alternative. You lose this game, you've already lost 2 to Western Kentucky and to VCU. You have a decent win over St. Mary's and 3 home wins against overmatched teams, including one of the worst teams, if not the worst team, in Division I college basketball. And like you just said, the conference is down. At least it seems down right now. It seems down. There's been a few good wins in this conference other than Houston, SMU going in the date and winning in the last seconds, but also they've taken their hits as well. Cincinnati is not nearly as strong as, and Mick Cronin's been gone for a couple years, but it's not the Cronin teams. It's certainly not the Huggins teams. And then Wichita State is just in a free-for-all, or a free-fall, I should say, with the loss of Greg Marshall. You know, they're going to have to reestablish themselves. Can they do that? UCF has the win over Auburn, but they're an average team. Houston is really, really good. Houston is really good. And I'm not sure how good SMU is right now, but I know they're competitive. But Houston's really good. Other than that, the East Carolinas of the world, the USFs of the world, Tulsa, Frank Haith will have his team always playing tough. But these teams are not, they're average. Tulane. These are not big victories. And like you said, Eli, if you lose those games, especially if you lose some home games, it could really, really hurt your chances at the tournament. Nothing's etched in stone, even though on paper you look at the Tigers and you go, yes, this is an NCAA tournament team. But they got to go out there and put together the wins to be able to get there if they don't win the conference tournament title as an at-large.
In the conference teams in the top 100 in Ken Palm rankings, other than Houston, SMU's at 55.
Okay.
Cincinnati's at 60. Tulsa's at 96. That's the only, other than Houston and Memphis, that's the only top 100 teams right now in Ken Palm's rankings.
Yeah, there's no given that those teams will stay, especially SMU, Cincinnati will stay in that position because, again, SMU I like, but I don't think they're great by any stretch of the imagination. And Cincinnati, I just don't know about Cincinnati this year.
So it's going to be there's limited opportunity to try and to really improve a resume this year for the Tigers with all of the non-conference games that they had, canceled against the better opponents, and so this Auburn game, even though it is not a real good Auburn team, certainly becomes important to get Eddie a win on the schedule as far as that is concerned. By the way, on that, speaking of like resumes and tournament, if the NCAA tournament committee, they have to be thinking this already. If we have to figure out a way now to get Alabama and Duke matched up in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, sure.
I hope they realize that.
Oh, sure.
I know I don't believe they normally care about that stuff, but please give me Duke and Alabama this year. We'll see if Coach K will do the Jeff Collins handshake after that one.
Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084. That's 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com. They're a locally owned and operated company They offer financing, many different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes. Pinnacle is part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active, or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. They do residential and commercial roofing. So for all you business owners out there, property managers, and, of course, homeowners, if you have a leak or any other roofing issue, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Remember the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof, and all their work is satisfaction guaranteed. Don't forget about the $100 referral fee for all new roofs. Again, you refer somebody to Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. They use Pinnacle. You're going to pick up $100 for that referral. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. Brandon is a certified shingle installer, so if it's shingles that are down, he can replace them. Again, it's quality work at a very good price, your one-stop shop for all your home repair needs. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration, locally owned and operated. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com.
Got a text here on the First Bank text line. Says, Penny has gotten players, but they haven't shown to be exceptional players. If we aren't champions by 2022 at the latest, I think questions will start to arise.
Well,
I don't know about. I mean, are talking about conference championships or national? I mean, you can't. If you're talking conference championships, I could see that. But I mean, you can't be expecting national championships.
Yes, but what was the first part of the statement?
So Penny has gotten players, but they haven't shown to be exceptional players.
Well, I think Precious Achiuwa was exceptional. That's why he went where he went in the NBA draft. James Wiseman. Is that? If you want to blame Penny, go ahead. Penny brought James Wiseman in. It did not work out. And he ends up number 2 in the NBA draft. I would say that he was an exceptional player, but yes, it lasted 3 games. Some of these other guys that he has recruited, the texter's absolutely right. Much heralded. Lester Quinones and Boogie Ellis and others that just haven't stepped up to that platform yet. Landers Nolly is a transfer, but a guy who's expected to be a big-time scorer, and so far that's what he's done. By the way, Landers Nolly is expected to play tomorrow in the game. I know he landed hard on his, I believe, elbow, Eli? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know if it's elbow or wrist that was it.
Yeah, it may have been wrist. Yeah, it may have been wrist, but it looks like, again, according to Penny, that he should be good to go tomorrow in Atlanta against Auburn. We're good to go to a break. When we return, we got a busy second hour. Chris Vanini on college football, the latest cancellations, his thoughts on what happened with Ohio State, his thoughts on what's going on with Coastal Carolina and some of the little guys. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Frontier Western Store and Olive Branch is here to make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. Ladies' boutique style clothing, Carhartt for the guys, and boots for everyone. For Frontier's boutique department, you'll find the latest trends at incredible prices. We also carry a huge inventory of basics like leggings, tops, tunics, dresses, CC beanies, scarves, gloves, new styles of fleece jackets, and much, much more. Guys will be after Frontier's large assortment of Carhartt and Ariat jeans and shirts. Now, how about a new coat, jacket, or insulated overalls? Frontier has that too. Don't forget the boots. Work boots and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, Ariat, and more. Frontier is the place to come for name brand boots at an everyday low price. There are thousands of boots available in all sizes for men, women, and children. Frontier gift cards are also available and make a perfect last-minute gift. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Are you looking for a dependable car at a fair price and guaranteed financing approval? Then you need to make your way to Collierville Auto Center, where one price shopping is the name of the game. Family owned and operated, Collierville Auto Center has been in the business for over 20 years and is proud to serve the people of this area. Collierville Auto Center is stocked with over 50 units, including cars, trucks, SUVs, and Highlines. Looking for a particular type of vehicle? Collierville Auto Center offers a locator service with 72-hour turnaround service. With over 30 years in the automotive industry, Scott and Martin would be happy to show you how their affordable pricing and guaranteed financing can work for you. Come see Scott and his professional staff of Terry, Branson, Q for your car needs. Conveniently located at 651 West Poplar Avenue, Collierville Auto Center is situated where Highway 72 meets Poplar and Collierville. Please look them up on the web at ColliervilleAutoCenter.com. Call at 901-853-0240 or simply come and see them for an outstanding car buying experience. At Collierville Auto Center, they're here for you.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1 and the new FM 98.5.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:04 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Middays. The Friday, December 11th, 2020 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn getting you set for the sports weekend. We're in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Second hour sponsor of Sports 56 Middays is James Gaddis Jewelers, and every Monday and Friday they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know if the Memphis Tigers get invited to a bowl game, and it is expected that they will, and it's expected to be, at least right now, the rumor that they're going to the Montgomery Bowl on December 23rd, that would mean 7 straight years going bowling for the University of Memphis. The Tigers had previously gone to only 6 bowls their entire history and only 1 before 2003. That was back in 1971. Again, this Memphis Sports Fact brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue between Mendenhall and St. Elmo. You can call them at 901-767-9648. The website, gaddisjewelers.com, your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Without further ado, time to talk some college football with Chris Vanini, national college football reporter for The Athletic, who you can follow on Twitter at Chris Vanini. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us as always. So, not far from us here in Memphis, about an hour and change up the road, is Jonesboro, Arkansas, the home of Arkansas State. And the news that came down yesterday, that Blake Anderson leaving Jonesboro to head to Utah State, and well-respected, obviously a man who went through hell and back last year. So my question to you is, Chris, what does Arkansas State do now to replace Blake Anderson? Have you heard any names? They've had a really nice run of coaches that have come through Jonesboro at one time or another.
Yeah, I mean, they've had the last 4 coaches have all moved on to other head coaching jobs from that job, which is kind of unheard of. Hugh Freeze, Gus Malzahn, Brian Harsin, and now Blake Anderson. So, yeah, I mean, they've had a heck of a run. Before this season, obviously, I think they're 4-7. It's kind of been a bit of a down year, but they had made like 9 straight bowl games, 9 straight winning seasons. They've been a part of 4 or 5 conference championships. So the past decade has really been pretty much the golden era, I think, the modern era of this program. And there's going to be a lot of people interested in this job. They just opened the new football building last year, which is really, really nice. They have an indoor facility. Blake Anderson was the 3rd highest paid coach in the Sun Belt. So they have a lot of resources available. It's a place clearly where you can win, and that's going to draw a lot of interest from coaches. And I think the names you're going to hear off the bat are Brett Lashley, who's obviously from the state. He spent a year there with Gus. He's now the Miami offensive coordinator. Kendall Briles is the current offensive coordinator at Arkansas. And yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of offensive names associated with this job. Terry Mohajir really likes offensive coaches. Guys who have quarterback backgrounds. That's what he hired in Harsin. That's what he hired in Anderson. And a lot of people kind of in the industry believe that that's probably where they're going to look again.
With Kendall Briles, are we far enough away from the Art Briles issues for him for school, somebody to hire him as a head coach?
Well, that's the big thing. It's gonna take one heck of a PR sale to do that, because there's going to be a lot of heat coming your way if that happens. I mean, Kendall Briles was specifically named in a number of lawsuits coming out of that sexual assault scandal at Baylor, and he's back in coaching, but he's largely been kept kind of to the side. He went to FAU and only talked to media, I think, one time when he was there with Lane Kiffin, or once a year. Same deal with Houston and Arkansas and Florida State. He hasn't been the front of a program. You can kind of hide him if you don't make assistant coaches available. So expect a lot of heat to come toward Arkansas State's way if that's the direction that they move. I mean, whether or not it's my call, I don't know. I just know if you're going to make that hire, there's going to be a lot of negative attention coming your way for quite a while over something like that.
While we're on the subject of coaches, there's an opening at Vanderbilt. There's a few openings in the Sun Belt as well. The Vanderbilt job, have you heard names for that one? And then I also want to get your thoughts on Shane Beamer getting the job at South Carolina.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, it sounds like, a lot of them are kind of looking at big names. The names you've heard early on are the names that are defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, Charles Huff, the running back at Alabama. I think there's some other guys who would be good fit.
Oh, we're losing you, Chris. There we go. You there?
Are you there?
Yeah, there we go. Sounds better now. Yeah, we lost you, so we didn't really hear those names.
Oh, sorry about that. Clark Lee, the defense coordinator at Notre Dame, he's an alum. Charles Huff coached there before, the running back coach at Alabama. I think Jamie Chadwell, the head coach at Coastal Carolina, are some of the names you heard early that are still kind of going around there. And then as it relates to South Carolina, Shane Beamer was a name that came up right away. He was a name that had a lot of support from former players and people who were around the program when he was there under Steve Spurrier. So he had a lot of people in his corner right off the bat. And in the end, that's the decision that won out.
With Chadwell at Coastal Carolina, we don't know what other jobs are going to come available, but do you believe he will end up at somewhere else this offseason?
I wouldn't say for sure. It depends, if other things come open and how things could shake out, and maybe Auburn, Tennessee, Texas, Michigan don't open, and maybe there just aren't many open jobs, and Vanderbilt decides to go a different direction. It could certainly be how it plays out. He is actually, he is the lowest paid head coach in FBS, according to the USA Today Sports Database. I actually did not realize that until I was doing research on the Louisiana Monroe job, which opened, and I knew they were the second lowest, and then I didn't realize Chadwell was the lowest. So there's a lot of different ways it could go, but it depends how many jobs open. It's the same thing with Billy Napier at Louisiana. South Carolina didn't happen. Maybe he feels like he could get a bigger job, but we don't know if there's going to be a bigger job that opens.
You cover all of college football, but you also have an emphasis on Group of Five schools and things that are going on with the Group of Five. You're kind of a champion for the little guy, and I love reading and following you on Twitter and things that you say after the committee comes out with their top 25 and usually screws around with Coastal or somebody else. And so Coastal, since we're on that topic, 10-0, number 13. You always bring up the Sun Belt success this year against the Big 12, and you got Iowa State sitting at number 7 with 2 losses. What's your thoughts about where they are? And it just seems to prove once again that there's just no chance right now, unless the playoff is expanded, that the Group of Five is included. They have not been invited to the party, and it doesn't look like they're even close to an invitation.
Well, I think making the playoff and being fairly ranked are almost two separate categories. Because honestly, I think the 4 teams in the top 4 are fair to be the top 4 and probably will be. Maybe Coastal Carolina doesn't deserve to be in the playoff conversation, but they deserve to be a heck of a lot higher than 13. It's ridiculous. It's the Sun Belt situation. Sun Belt goes 3-0 against the Big 12. I know one of those was Kansas, but Coastal was up 28-0 on Kansas before he blinked in that game. Louisiana beat Iowa State by 17 points at Iowa State. And now we're just kind of supposed to pretend that game doesn't count because Iowa State's playing better now. Coastal Carolina beat Louisiana at Louisiana. They haven't lost. They have 2 wins over ranked teams. Iowa State, 2 losses, 2 wins over ranked teams. They lost again. They lost to Louisiana. There is a head-to-head comparison here with Iowa State and Coastal Carolina. And Coastal Carolina is in a better spot. There is no argument you can make that Iowa State should be higher than Coastal Carolina in the polls, other than just the idea that because the Big 12 is Power 5, therefore it must be better. The committee loves the Big 12 this year for some reason, and I do not get it. Texas where they are, Iowa State where they are. There's no benefit of the doubt needs to be given to where Oklahoma State had been in recent weeks before they lost. There's no reason the Big 12 deserves this benefit of the doubt. They did nothing of consequence in the non-conference season. Oklahoma State beat Tulsa, but it was an incredibly ugly game. It makes no sense. Louisiana should also be higher than Iowa State. They have 1 loss to Coastal Carolina, and they beat Iowa State. In my rankings, I rank every team, all 127. I've got Coastal Carolina at 8, Louisiana at 11, and Iowa State at 12. And honestly, I don't understand how you could do it any other way.
Very nice. Well said.
With what we have going on, if Coastal Carolina could move up a little further, do you think there's a chance this year, because they don't have to, the bowl games don't really have to worry about ticket sales because they're not going to be able to sell tickets for most of them, that we could end up getting 2 Group of 5 teams into the New Year's 6 bowl games?
I think it's possible. If you figure that one of the Big 12 teams is going to lose and drop down, that should help Coastal right off the bat there. And if Coastal beats Troy and if Coastal beats Louisiana for a second time, that should move them up again as well. Now, Indiana, they're not playing anymore. They're not going to be in the Big Ten championship game or something, so there's not much room for some of these other teams. You'd probably need Miami to lose to North Carolina this week, and maybe Tulsa lose to Cincinnati. There is a chance that even though they should already be in the top 10, that Coastal Carolina still does finish in the top 10. And if that happens, there's a chance they could get one of those at-large New Year's 6 spots, assuming Cincinnati gets the top spot.
Yeah, you just brought up Tulsa and Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati dropped a spot behind Iowa State. They went from 7 to 8. They didn't play because Iowa State picked up that great win over West Virginia, who's terrible on the road. But anyway, the Bearcats and the Golden Hurricane, they obviously were going to play this weekend. That game has been canceled, but they will meet in the championship game. What are the chances for Tulsa to spring the upset?
It's tough because we haven't seen a lot of Tulsa this year. They're 6-1, but they needed a Hail Mary to get to overtime with Tulane. They needed a fumble call to be overturned or ruled incorrectly to beat East Carolina. They keep having these close calls in a lot of these games. I think they're a really good team. They're obviously much better than they have been in recent years. But they've played a lot of close ones, and Cincinnati is not. They have been pretty much blowing everybody out of the water that they've played. So, I mean, I'd certainly give them a chance. I think it's an unfortunate break for Tulsa that they can't play the original game that they were going to play this week, which was going to be at Tulsa this week, and the winner gets home field next week in the championship game. But they couldn't play because Cincinnati has COVID issues. So instead, they're just going to play at Cincinnati next week. So that's kind of unfortunate for them. But I mean, I give them a chance. They're a good team. They keep winning when we don't think they're going to win, but I got to think Cincinnati's the heavy favorite in this.
Do we have any idea? Well, for instance, Cincinnati, they're having problems right now, so they're not playing the game this week. What if those problems are next week and they can't play the championship game?
I don't know. This goes for every conference championship game, really. I mean, there's going to be one or two games, I think, where a team just can't play, and I don't know what's going to happen. I saw a report from a Florida Atlantic writer that said that if Marshall couldn't play in the championship game, that they would pick the second place team to go play in the Conference USA title game. I don't think, Power 5 conferences would probably do that. So I honestly, I don't know. I think most likely they would probably just cancel the game if one of the teams can't play. Who do you determine as the winner then? I don't know. I guess conference record, winning percentage. Not really sure yet. And I think that's one of the big questions we have going into next week.
I was going to think with the American, like if Cincinnati can't play this week, you'd think there'd be a decent chance that maybe they won't be able to play next week. And like I said, I mean, do you because they're both undefeated in conference play. Though I was thinking, because Cincinnati's undefeated overall, but Tulsa was undefeated in conference play. So how do you determine a champion at that point?
I think they would probably just look at the playoff rankings,
right,
and go with the higher team. You have had a lot of positive things to write about with the Memphis Tigers football program over the last few years, and understandably so. This year, while it's a good season, it's certainly not the season we saw last year when they won the conference championship game. They've had a lot of players and key players that have opted out, and injuries and things of that nature. I'm sure you've seen them in action. What are your thoughts on this first year for Ryan Silverfield, the post-Mike Norvell era with the Tigers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's overall been a solid year. Maybe not what people expected, but it's been such a weird year, and especially for them. I mean, everybody's had to deal with, COVID issues and everything, and having a new head coach kind of deal with his own thing while you can't really be with the players over the summer was tough. But, obviously, the opt-out of Kenny Gainwell, Damani Coxey, all these really good players who just didn't play. That's really set you behind the eight ball from the beginning. I think, they lose to SMU on a field goal at the end, but they beat UCF on a missed field goal at the end. So it's like, these things can bounce either way. I think kind of where they are fits. The loss last week obviously is not what you want to see, but it's been an incredibly tough year. It's so hard to evaluate what a coach has done this year just because of everything they're going through and the things you don't know they're going through. So, I mean, obviously the standard has been raised over the last number of years, and this was supposed to be a big year for Memphis with all those pieces coming back. But then they spent most of the year without most of those big pieces. I mean, Brady White's been there and everything, but he's kind of had to recreate a wide receiver core on the fly and the running backs and all that stuff. So, it's not what you wanted. I don't think it's been bad. I think it's been tough.
Final thing for you, and this is just your opinion. We saw that Boston College has decided not to participate in a bowl game. Do you think that we're going to hear a lot of schools saying the same thing?
I think we'll see more and more. I mean, Bronco Mendenhall at Virginia said the other day that Virginia didn't want to find a new team to play on December 19th after they lost the game. They just a lot of people, I think, are just done with it. We just wanted to get through the season, and we're pretty much there. We're pretty much there for a lot of teams. Made it through the season. Players that wanted to play got to play. We got to figure out a national champion and do playoff and New Year's Six stuff. But outside of that, for a number of teams, I'm sure there won't be an appetite to play in bowl games, especially when these bowl games won't be trips. A lot of times you go there, you spend the week in a nice area, and you do a bunch of stuff. This is going to be get in, get tested, play your game, get out. They're just there for a few days. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a number of other teams do what Boston College did.
Well, Chris, we give you the Pat Narduzzi firm handshake, not the Jeff Collins cold shoulder. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, he's the national college football reporter for The Athletic. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Vanini. If we don't talk to you again before the holidays, happy holidays to you, and I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road. Appreciate it. Keep up the great work.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Chris. Now, they have had another few teams that have not opted out of bowls or anything like that, but as far as the schedule is concerned, Oregon, Washington, that's off, correct, guys?
Yes.
They have postponed that game. They have postponed Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Baylor, Oklahoma State. Where does that stand? I know that game was in limbo yesterday. Is that one still on as of now? Do you know?
I haven't seen anything saying it was officially off.
So there's a good chance we have a very busy schedule on the 19th, aside from those championship games. I know Memphis won't be playing, but
that's been the expectation.
The makeup day.
The Big Ten's is supposed to play all these other games. The SEC has rescheduled games for that weekend. It's basically expected to be probably just as busy as any of the other weeks this year, depending on how many get canceled for that.
I have no question about it.
I guess with the Washington-Oregon one, I guess so that just does that clinch the division for Washington?
Yes, I was going to bring that up to you because we had the explanation from Jerry Palm earlier this week, which I got to be honest with you, kind of it went a little bit over my head. But I don't know. I guess it does, right?
Washington's 3-1, Oregon's 3-2,
right?
So Oregon obviously, if they had beaten Washington, would get the tiebreaker, would be the division champion. So I guess since they're not playing that game, that will allow Washington to be the division champion and play in the conference championship game.
You know what? Since they've changed, they're changing the rules daily, it seems like, whatever league it may be. Obviously, the ACC kind of screwed Miami a little bit and just put Notre Dame and Clemson, boom, there they go. They're going to play in the championship game. We know what the Big Ten did. Why doesn't the Pac-12, if USC and Colorado, and I assume they're both playing this weekend, right? And they're both undefeated right now, but they're both in the South, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Just put them in the championship game. They're two undefeated teams, even though they're in the same division. Everything's off the board this year. Instead of putting Washington, which hasn't looked good at all, if they get the de facto North title because they don't play the final game against Oregon. Now, they may have beaten Oregon, but they have a loss. Colorado's undefeated. I know you brought up Colorado the other day. Colorado.
Yeah, that's why I said, to me, Colorado, everybody that feels so sorry for Indiana, who had the chance to play the team that they're competing with and lost.
Right.
How come nobody complains about Colorado if they end up undefeated and don't even get to play in their conference championship game?
Yeah, it makes sense to me to put Colorado, again, assuming they both win their games this week. You put Colorado against USC in the championship game. Just do something a little bit unorthodox, but it would reward the two teams that are undefeated who don't get a chance to play each other.
To me, I don't. If I had been the Pac-12, I would have done some reshuffling of my schedule to get USC and Colorado to play this week.
Yeah, that too. But
I don't know why you wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Wait a second, we can't we can't have two teams in the same division end up undefeated. So we have to figure this out. We got to find a champion of that division. So we're going to have to reschedule some stuff this week. You should before last week, you see this coming. Hey, if they're both undefeated going into next week, here's what our schedule is going to be. So these two teams can play to decide who's going to play in the conference championship game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They should have done it, but they didn't do it. So they're being reactive, but I think this is the way they should go. FanDuel Sportsbook, it is National App Day. Eli told us earlier it's National App Day, and if you haven't downloaded your FanDuel Sportsbook app, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, certainly if you're not into the sports gambling, I completely understand that. But if you want to give it a shot, this is the best time because they are giving you a chance to bet $1,000 and get that money back in bonus site credit if you don't win. So you can bet up to $1,000 that first bet once you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet up to $1,000. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in bonus site credit. So you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. And they have all types of great bets going on. Right now, futures for the NBA. Pick the teams that you think will win or the team that will win the NBA title. They have these boosts. They offer these boosts almost daily. And then also the live betting that's going on within the game. Last night was fun with the Rams and the how they play?
Patriots.
The Patriots. And during that game, I actually I put a few dollars on the defense special teams to score. I think it was 7-1 odds. I did this live, and actually I did it before the game. Let me be honest here. It was before the game. So I hit on that one because they had a 79-yard interception return for a touchdown. But during the actual game itself, there's all kinds of things you can do as the game progresses. Next person to score a touchdown. Next person after that to score a touchdown. It's just fun. This is the first time I've been involved in this stuff, and I've really had a good time. But I make sure that I bet what I can afford, and certainly I've enjoyed doing so. So I would suggest, again, even if you're just novice in sports gambling, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, and then that first bet, it's risk-free. So do what you want on anything, whether it's the NBA, whether it's college football, the NFL. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Be sure to sign up with promo code GASMAN so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN. Listen, you must be 21 or older. You have to be in the state of Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Boy, this is like, I've just looked at it. This is almost ridiculous that the Pac-12 didn't do it. It was so simple. Colorado plays Utah this week. Mm-hmm. USC plays UCLA. UCLA and Utah were supposed to play earlier this year, and their game got canceled. So all you had to do is switch those two games. UCLA, you play Utah, like you were supposed to do anyway this year. USC, you play Colorado. That was the easiest thing in the world to do.
Well,
they could have done that on Monday and said, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
We'll have a South champion, and you guys have your game that you were supposed to play anyway.
No, it makes perfect sense. I don't know if they took into consideration that USC and UCLA is a rivalry. So we didn't want to bust that up. We want USC and UCLA to play every year. So we're going to go ahead and play that game. But what you said makes perfect sense. Hey, listen, they're only Big Ten, or in this case, Pac-12 ADs, Pac-12 commissioner. Larry Scott gets paid an awful lot of money and can't come up with a simple solution like you just did to have USC and Colorado play. But even if they don't, which it's not going to happen, obviously, you just talked about the schedule this weekend, put them together in the championship game. It makes more sense. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we have our 5 favorite songs. The word today is let. You need the word let in the title of your song. Text in, if you haven't done so already, with your songs, 67129 First Bank text line. If you're watching us live, you can message us with your list of songs at Sports56 WHBQ. You can do it on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, any which way you're watching us on whatever the social platform is. It's 5 favorite songs. It's next. This is Sports 56 Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
It's on Mid-South employee pricing for all during the Big Finish 2020. So get ready to save big with 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. IIHS top safety pick $22,990 or $296 a month. Or power up with 2020 Dodge Charger $24,890 or $299 a month. And we're talking Ram Tough in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2 $31,999 or $399 a month. It's time to get your ride on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike, or online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3,500 cash down, Charger 4,500 cash down, 4.11 APR, Cherokee MD 15674, MSRP 28050, Charger XST LH 248 MSRP 32860, Ram LG 290 329, MSRP 37855, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
The holidays are just around the corner. Have you heard what James Gaddis Jewelers is doing? Everything. James Gaddis has everything for your family, friends, and loved ones. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold and silver, and more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, diamonds, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. And with the experts at James Gaddis, pick out the most dazzling and beautiful diamond, bridal, and engagement rings. Plus, 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. You can find everything to fit your style and budget with layaway and financing available. James Gaddis, a Memphis tradition, local and family owned. Whatever your holiday dream, make it come true at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar.
Be sure to listen for the Memphis Sports Fact, brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers each Monday and Friday on Sports 56 Middays.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 299.10, MSRP 20,625, Soul M7755 682, MSRP 20,315, K5MG 003199, MSRP 25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we Gossett you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte, $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte, $142, Soul, $148, Kia K5, $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
All 75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69, MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZ 042383, MSRP 26,235. PEV LZ 038819, MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander. $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 mpg. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV. $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
3 touchdowns in 2 weekends. Wow. Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors doesn't let the fall football season slow him down. People often say, when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Recently, he was about to put a home on the market in Germantown, but sold it the day before. The following weekend, he listed 2 on Friday, and the one in East Memphis had 3 offers by Saturday night, and the other one in Cordoba had 4 offers by Sunday evening. Is the real estate market that good? It can be. There's no seasonal slowdown during football season when Sheldon is your quarterback. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling their home, before you draft a quarterback, make sure and have tryouts with 2 to 3, and let Sheldon run his pass pattern for you. You can reach Sheldon at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:36 is the time. We have our 5 favorite songs coming up in just a moment. Memphis quarterback Brady White, one of 10 FBS student-athletes selected as a finalist for the 2020-21 Senior Class Award. It's an acronym for Celebrating Loyalty and Achievement for Staying in School. The Senior Class Award focuses on the total student-athlete and encourages students to use their platform in athletics to make a positive impact as leaders in their communities. By the way, kicker Riley Patterson was one of the 30 candidates announced earlier this season, but did not make the cut down to 10. I would imagine Brady White is going to be a finalist for a lot of different awards.
We got a text on the First Bank text line. Somebody say, couldn't the Big Ten have just had Ohio State play someone who had a game canceled this weekend too? Well, the problem there was the only other game in the Big Ten that has been canceled was Purdue and Indiana, and that was due to rising numbers on both sides of that. So there wasn't another Big Ten team available for them to play, and they weren't playing non-conference games.
Time now for our 5 favorite songs.
5 favorite songs.
All right, pretty simple. The word let needs to be in the title of your song. That's L-E-T. If you haven't texted in, you still have time. First Bank text line 67129. If you are watching us live, hello to you. You can message us with the lists at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. I will start, then we'll go Gabe and Eli. All right, my 5 with the word let. I do have an honorable mention today. The one-hit wonder, but he did pretty well in his career outside of music. John Travolta with Let Her In. And I say as a single. Of course, he had the Olivia Newton-John Grease soundtrack and all that stuff, but Let Her In. Honorable mention, John Travolta. Number 5, Let's Dance, David Bowie. Number 4, Let It Be, Beatles. Number 3, Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney and Wings. Number 2, Let's Go, By the Cars. This one may surprise a few people. Here's my number 1.
So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream.
Ah, this is a happy song. Let Your Love Flow. The Bellamy Brothers. How about that one, Eli?
Good choice. Very good choice.
And surprising, I would imagine. You probably thought Let It Be or maybe Let's Go.
I thought Let It Be would probably be your choice. But yeah, you made which would have been a good choice as well, but you made a very good choice. Better than most of your choices.
Good category, though.
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of good songs.
This category is just absolutely loaded.
It is loaded. All right, Gabe.
So let me go with an honorable mention because 7th grade Gabe Kuhn absolutely got pumped up to this song, Trick Daddy Let's Go. If y'all know that song, you know
7th grade Gabe Kuhn.
7th grade Gabe Kuhn before his middle school football games used to get absolutely turned up
what year
to some
was
Trick
that?
Daddy.
What year was that?
Oh gosh. I mean, not that long ago, relatively.
Was it like 2003? 2000?
No.
2000.
I was 8 in 2003. Let me
No,
think
it's a
about this.
little, oh God, later than that.
Oh my gosh.
2000,
later than that.
2008.
I say so. I said not that long ago, relatively.
Holy cow.
Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. 5, I went Let It Go by Zach Brown Band. 4, I went Let Me Love You by Mario. 3, had to go Marvin Gaye. Should be on every list, but it is what it is. Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
2, but I do agree, Beatles, Let It Be should be on every list as well. And number 1, I do have to preface this by saying this is very heavy. It will mention suicide, but this is something this artist actually went through.
I'm looking for that big old smile full of diamonds. Instead, I found this letter you ain't finished writing. It read, I'm sorry for even apologizing. I tried compromising and went kamikaze. I found my mama's pistol where she always had it. I cried, put it to my head and thought about it. Nobody was home to stop me, so I called my auntie. Hung up, then put the gun up to my heart and pondered. Too much was on my conscience to be smart about it. Too torn apart about it. I ain't where my heart was pounding. I shot it, and I woke up with blood all around me. It's mine. I didn't die, but as I was dying, God came to my side and we talked about it. He sold me another life, and he made a profit. Yeah, and he said, yeah, I'm still in this.
Let It All Work Out by Lil Wayne. Heavy, like I said, very heavy, but very, very well done song by Lil Wayne.
Okay. And now we move on to Eli.
All right. I've got a couple of honorable mentions. Got to give an honorable mention to J-Lo again for Let's Get Loud. Also, really surprised that I thought for sure Greg would have this one on his list. Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baja Men. Thought maybe, Gabe, when you were talking about 7th grade.
Hey, I was going to say, that slipped my mind, Who Let the Dogs Out.
I literally thought when you said 7th grade Gabe used to get pumped up to this song. I thought you were going to say Who Let the Dogs Out.
I wouldn't say that Who Let the Dogs Out is like a pump-up song.
No, I thought you were, because it was an honorable mention, I actually thought you were kind of joking. And so I didn't know. I couldn't remember when Who Let the Dogs Out came out and if it had been around your 7th grade time.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable,
I
your
thought
thought
that's
there.
where you were going.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 5, Let It Ride by BTO. Number 4, Let Your Love Flow, Bellamy Brothers. Number 3, Gabe, you are correct. It should be on every list. Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Number 2, Let It Be by the Beatles. And my number 1, I've used it as a number 1 before, but it was a long time ago. And it's such a great song that it's worthy of getting played again.
The world you're living in, I take a look around you. These they got friends. See, I call my own lady. I thought a brand new word. She picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. It's all I heard. Are we gonna let the other break us down? Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
Is that like a live?
I was just going to say that.
Version of that or something from a concert?
Yeah,
it has to be. Yeah,
it must be.
Let's Go Crazy by, because it doesn't sound like Prince. It was like it didn't sound necessarily like Prince.
It was Garth Brooks doing Let's Go Crazy.
Let's Go Crazy by Prince.
That one was sitting there right at number 6 for me. I couldn't bust it in there, but that's
the
one.
start of that song
it's good.
is epic.
It's good. I hated leaving that off.
The very beginning of that song is just
I'm glad we ended on that upbeat, happy song. I told Greg we could not end on my song. We can't leave the listeners with that type of depression going forward.
But it was your choice, and you liked it, and it was Lil Wayne and expressing his feelings, so it's understandable. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to break and come back with our listeners' top 5 in the category Let. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis Tiger fans, catch the Blue and Gray Show with John Stacey and Drew Barrett, Sunday nights from 5 till 7, right here on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
I just left those Ford and Toyota dealers. You ought to see the selection of new cars and trucks. And you should see their prices. Santa trades a Sunrise Buick GMC truck. Top trade-in for old sleds. Immediate financing. A true bargain lot with cars and trucks under $99.95. And remember, Sunrise specializes in first-time buyers. Want to buy a car or truck and have some left over for the holidays? SunriseMemphis.com. Covington, Pike, Wolfchase, and Collierville. Happy holidays.
Just announced employee pricing for everyone on select models.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP 20,625, Soul M7755 682, MSRP 20,315, K5MG 003199, MSRP 25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we got you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte, $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte, $142, Soul, $148, Kia K5, $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Hey, we understand. With everything that's happening, with all the new regulations, maybe you're not ready to come and hang out at Sweetgrass to catch a ball game. We want you to, we really do, and we're open for you to do just that. But we're also offering the next best thing, the new Sweetgrass Tailgate Party Packs. Whether it's wings, house-made dips, sliders, or other Sweetgrass tasty treats, all you have to do is call us or go to sweetgrassmemphis.com to order just what you're dreaming of when you're dreaming of watching sports and enjoying some sweet, sweet Sweetgrass.
All 75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69. MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZO 423.83. MSRP 26,235. PEV LZO 388.19. MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. CD for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander, $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus, crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 MPG. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV, $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I was nowhere near the dogs. Do not blame me. There you go.
That's just musical genius right there.
The Baja, was it the Baja Boys?
Baja Men.
Baja Men.
I mean, that's just quality music right there. I mean,
It's not a bad. It's really not that bad. All right.
It's funny because I just saw somebody was tweeting about, and these crazy things that get going on Twitter, and somebody said, I think it's actually Joey Solopek over at Fox 13 who said,
"Oh, my old friend Joey.
What is the worst song to get stuck in your head?" And that is one of them. If that song gets stuck in your head, it is really annoying after a while. That constant barking in your head is it does get annoying. But I have had that song absolutely get stuck in my head before.
It can get stuck in your head, but it's and it can be annoying. I understand that, but if you just listen to it one time, it's not that bad. The one that sometimes gets stuck in my head would be that Mambo number.
Mambo number 5.
That
wow.
song. What's the guy's name? Vega, I think.
Lou Bega.
Lou Bega. Is it Bega or Vega? B or V?
I think it's V.
Okay, yeah, that dude's song.
Oh no, I think it's B. Yeah, Bega.
It's Bega.
Lou
Okay.
Bega.
Joey's thing was Karma Chameleon, I think is what the one he had.
Not bad.
Which was, but yeah, I've had that song stuck in my head before too.
All right, let's get to our listeners.
Let's see here. Downtown Leo, number 5, Let Your Love Flow. Number 4, Never Let You Go by Third Eye Blind.
Good song.
Number 4, Let There Be Rock, AC/DC. Number 2, Let's Spend the Night Together, Rolling Stones.
Considered it.
And number 1, Let's Go by The Cars. Raider Corey's top 5. Number 5, Who Let the Dogs Out. Number 4, Let It Snow. Any version will suffice. But I disagree. We do not want to let it snow. Number 3, Let's Get It On. Number 2, Let's Groove, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And number 1, Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Let's see here. Chuck U. Farley. 5, Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight, James Taylor. Number 4, Just to Let You Know by Eazy-E. Number 3, She Let Herself Go, George Strait. Number 2, Let There Be Rock, AC/DC. And number 1, Let It Snow, Bing Crosby. Zed, honorable mention to Let It Go by Eric and the Architects. Number 5, Let Me Go, Three Doors Down. Number 4, Don't Let Me Down, the Chainsmokers. Number 2, Don't Let Me Get Me, Pink. Number 2, Let's Get Retarded by Black Eyed Peas.
What?
We haven't had many Black Eyed Peas songs mentioned in this
Very
whole segment.
politically correct there, isn't it?
Number 1,
gosh.
Let Her Go by Passenger. I am not familiar with Passenger. Let's see. Bobby in Midtown. Number 5, Let It Loose by the Rolling Stones. Number 4, Let Me Slow Down by the Rolling Stones. Number 3, Let Me Go by the Rolling Stones. Number 2, Let It Bleed by the Rolling Stones. And number 1, Let's Spend the Night Together by... Can you guess?
The Stones.
Yeah, good guess.
That
guess.
was the one of those 5 that I gave heavy consideration to.
Carolyn, number 5, Let the Moon Shine, Luke Combs. Number 4, Let It All Work Out, Lil Wayne. Number 3, Let Me Ride, Lil Wayne and Jewel. Number 2, Let Your Love Flow by Bellamy Brothers. And number 1, Let's Stay Together, Tina Turner.
Lil Wayne and Jewel? Wow.
Let's see here. Number 5, Let It Flow by Elvin Bishop. Number 4, Let's Go Crazy. Number 3, Let Me Be Your Car by Rod Stewart and Elton John. Number 2, Let There Be Rock, AC/DC. And number 1, Let Me Live. The best song from one of Memphis's best bands, Target, featuring Jimmy Jameson. Ray in Cordova, honorable mention to Let Me Be There, Olivia Newton-John, and Let's Dance, David Bowie. Number 5, Let 'Em In, Wings. Number 4, Let's Stay Together, Al Green. Number 3, Let Your Love Flow. Number 2, Time Won't Let Me by The Outsiders.
Good song.
And number 1, Let It Be. Let's see.
We have not heard yet Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, have we? By Elton John. That was one I considered and didn't make my list.
This was the toughest category you've had in a while. Number 5, Let's Live for Today by the Grassroots. Number 4, Let's Go Crazy. Number 3, Let's Spend the Night Together. Hold on here. Where does this go? Okay, number 2, Let It All Hang Out by the Hombres, a 60s Memphis garage band. Hombres. I don't know. Hombres.
How do you spell it?
It says Hombrs.
Maybe it's misspelled. I would think Hombres, but.
And number 1, Let It Be by the Beatles. Honorable mention to Let It Snow, Dean Martin. Don't Let It Break You Down, Graham Parker. They got 5 songs and they got 6 special honorable mentions. Man, come on.
If it's a hard category, you have to stay by the rules.
I will
one
sit
honorable
Greg
mention.
on. Greg will come and fight
5.
you if you come with more than one honorable mention.
Then your list is 10 or 12. Come on.
The Memphis Garage Band is the Hombres. It is.
Okay, so they just left
the
a word out, or left a letter out. I figured that was the case. Let's see here. Lou and KC, honorable mention to Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying by Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yes, England, band from England.
Number 5, Let Me Tickle Your Fancy by Jermaine Jackson. Don't get enough Jermaine Jackson on here either. Number 4, Don't Let Go by In Vogue. Number 3, Let's Work by Prince. Number 2, Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And number 1, Let Me Make Love to You by the OJs. Somebody says Culture Club was the bomb in the day. What do we have on Facebook and Periscope and all that?
Facebook, Periscope, all the social media platforms. John, I'm a loyal listener to the show. I had a bad fall last night and hurt my back, but chose to listen to the show instead of laying in the bed. John, thank you. I hope your back gets better, though. Take care of the back. You can miss a show.
No, you can't.
Here's his list. Number 5, Let's Dance by David Bowie. Number 4, Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Let's Rock by the Black Keys. Never Let Go by Tom Waits, number 2. And number 1, and Let Me Get Up on It by Tom Waits. So a double dose of Tom Waits there at 2 and 1. I assume he goes 5-1 there. Bobby, number 5, When You Get on the Whiskey. Let Somebody Else Drive by John Anderson. Let's Fall to Pieces Together, George Strait. That's 4. Number 3, Let Me Ride, Dr. Dre and Jewel. So Jewel's done a song with Dr. Dre and with Lil Wayne. How about that? Number 2, Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear. ZZ Top version. Number 1 tonight, The Bottle, Let Me Down. Merle Haggard. Honorable mention, Let's Fall in Love, Lawrence Welk. He has honorable mention, Let Her Cry by Hootie and the Blowfish. But let me see, 5, 4. Did I read this wrong?
Is the Let Me Be Your in the title of Teddy Bear?
I think it is. Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear, ZZ Top. 1 tonight, The Bottle, Let Me Down.
Wikipedia has it in the parentheses, so we'll go with it.
Yeah, so he's got 2 honorable mentions. Yeah, Let's Fall in Love, Lawrence Welk, and Let Her Cry by Hootie and the Blowfish.
Good song by Hootie, almost made my list.
John had an honorable mention, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. George Michael's version and Elton John's version. So it took the last mention here on social media from our listeners to throw in that classic from Elton John.
Somebody just texted that one in the George Michael Elton John duet.
That's right. It was a duet. It wasn't separate. It was a duet. It was really, really good. Yeah, absolutely. Good one there, John. Hope your back feels better. Marvin Gaye. This song, I told Gabe during our last break, I know it's a classic. It's a great song, but it's kind of like Paul George. I think it's overrated.
Bad take.
I think it's overrated.
You cannot come out with Marvin Gaye classic like this being overrated.
Here's a take, and it'll be probably poo-pooed by everybody.
It'll be wrong.
But if you're going to go love ballads, give me the late, great Barry White over the late, great Marvin Gaye. Give me Barry White.
Barry White's great, but that has nothing to do with this song.
Well, no, I said it's a good song, but it's a bit overrated. You hear it all the time. Every time there's a kiss cam or a hug cam or a something else cam.
You should.
All right. Marvin Gaye will take us to the break. Hour number 3 still to come, our final hour this week. We will kick things off with our Tiger basketball report. Matt Dillon will join us, and then we'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. This is Middays.
Oh, baby. Ooh. Don't you know how sweet and wonderful life can be? Ooh.
At Lex Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and they are offering the Golden Opportunity December to Remember sales event.
Thanks, Stats. December to Remember is our biggest sales event of the year. We've got great deals on leases, special financing, 0% interest on 2020s and 2021s. Come see us at Lexus of Memphis.
Thank you, Brian, and happy holidays to all and Merry Christmas, and we look so forward to 2021 and this year to forget 2020, but we look forward to 2021 at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Bushnell Golf. Featuring the Tour V5 and Tour V5 Shift rangefinders, featuring Pin Seeker with visual jolt and bite magnetic cart mount, and featuring this season's #1 gift from Bushnell, the Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get your Bushnell today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Rocking around the Kia rides, have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP $20,625, Soul M7755,682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP $25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license, with approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Hey, Dave Woloshin here. I want to talk to you about my good friends at PrestoShutters.com. They're open right now, and prices don't get any cheaper for window replacement, window treatments, exterior shutters, inside plantation shutters, roller shades, blinds, whatever window fashion you need, they've got. Amazing deep discounts, including installation. Everything you need is American made. Visit PrestoShutters.com or call them at 901-244-7484. That's 901-244-7484.
All 75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69. MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZO 423.83. MSRP 26,235. PEV LZO 388.19. MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We gossip at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander, $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 mpg. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV, $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quincy White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
He was a hard-headed man. He was brutally handsome. She was terminally pretty.
Welcome back, everybody. 12:04 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Middays. I'm going to give you the topic for Monday's 5 favorite songs in just a moment. I neglected to do that at the end of our second hour, at the end of the segment.
Trying to
diss Al Green.
Diss one of the great songs of all time. Not Al Green.
Well, I dissed him a little bit because I prefer Barry White, but
why do we have to take away from someone else to try to lift up someone else? I don't understand that.
Good point.
Somebody says,
Good
somebody
point.
texted in and said, "Yep, Greg, that's poo-poo. That is the greatest of all time."
I know.
It's
I am
Marvin
absolutely
Gaye, not Al Green, that you were dissing.
Marvin Gaye. I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought up Al Green, but
Yeah,
Al Green.
now you're just trying to bring somebody else into the conversation to diss them too.
No.
Just
Okay.
leave them all alone.
No. Al Green is a Memphis treasure. Okay. I love Al Green. I love all his songs. Marvin Gaye, great, historic. I love him too. Not a Memphian, I don't believe, right? He has no connection to Memphis. But that song is just overused. It's all the time.
No.
Barry White, underappreciated. Barry White with that, what do you call it? The deep voice is a baritone, right? The baritone. And his love songs. I'm sorry. Barry White is my preference. If you're going to lower the lights and put a little music
That's
on, it's
fine.
going to be Barry White,
But
my
that doesn't
friends.
mean you have to try and say that "Let's Get It On" as anything other than a great song.
I said I was going to be in the minority.
Yes, a minority of one.
No, there's a few may prefer other songs of Barry White than Let's Get It On. Let's Get It On is just overplayed. All right, we're in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Matt Dillon will join us in just a moment for the Tiger Basketball Report. Third hour of the program is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at 5143 Quince Road, right next door to Billy Hardwick's All-Star Lanes. Locally owned and operated by the Carter brothers. Jarrett Carter and his brother Philip does an outstanding job with this store because they have everything. They carry local products, fast service, competitive prices, and they are all about convenience and service. They have bilingual employees to help you if there's a barrier with the language. They have that for you. They have a full-time locksmith right there. They have a state-of-the-art key center. So not only getting duplicate keys, but they have exclusivity on the replacement Duracell key fob. So they got a great program. They'll beat dealer prices hands down, sometimes by 30 to 50%. Full variety of Benjamin Moore paints. They can cut glass, including plexiglass, sharpen your lawnmower blades. They have a great garden center. The latest Traeger and Weber grills. They got the very popular Big Green Egg in stock, air filters, light bulbs. They can repair screens. Come to Ace for your home maintenance projects, your neighborhood Ace in East Memphis for convenient service, knowledge, and price. Give them a call at 901-683-8688, online at acehardware.com, where they offer free shipping. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 7, Sunday 10 to 4. All right, for Monday, wish or hope. Wish or hope. So any variation, wishing, hoping, wish or hope for Monday's 5 favorite songs. What sarcastic thing are you going to say?
Well,
I know you're going to say something.
it just makes me think of the old saying, you can wish in one hand and blank in the other and see what fills up first.
All right, I thought you were going to say, like, Greg's not wishing for any more Marvin Gaye songs or something stupid.
Well, let me tell you, if there's a Marvin Gaye song that fits the category, it will be on my list Monday. I don't care if I like it or not.
Each Friday during the college basketball season, we talk Tigers, and we've done it for many years with our good friend Matt Dillon, Tigers basketball radio analyst, who joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. The Tigers and Auburn tomorrow from State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Mr. Dillon, how are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. You got me boogalooing, man, making all this music talk going on here. This is awesome.
Matt Dillon, give me your opinion on "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye.
Oh, man. Let me say, back in my youth, played it a few times in situations. That's all I will say about that.
but you're not going to try and claim like Greg that it's overrated.
No, I think it's not overrated.
Yes.
I think if you took a poll of the populace of males in the United States, they probably wouldn't say it's overrated.
Absolutely.
Maybe a better term, overused, but I guess that's a good thing.
I knew.
Well, overused might be a term, but
I knew Matt would bring some common sense to this conversation.
He always does.
The Tiger Basketball Report brought to you by Crab Kings, Collierville Auto Center, Central Barbecue, Southall Cafe, Paradise Cafe, A&J's Catfish Station, and Binswanger Glass.
All right, so let me ask you this: Are you upset? I know, and I take this with a grain of salt because obviously there are a lot more important things going on with COVID-19, people battling, families losing loved ones, and all that stuff. But from a broadcasting standpoint, are you getting used to this thing of broadcasting from either a suite at FedEx Forum for home games or the studio for the away games, or would you much rather be on the road like you have been for years and years?
To be honest, I'd much rather be on the road, Greg. Really, the way it is now, and nothing against, the suite at FedEx Forum or being in the studio, but you don't get the sense of being there, the atmosphere, the feeling. It's nothing to me like going before a game and the crowd's coming in and the apprehension of a big game and what it's going to be like, and you feel the kind of the tension and the excitement in the air. Man, you don't get that now. You go into FedEx Forum and we're up in the clouds there, man, and it's sweet, and you're at an angle, which that's okay, but there's no feeling right now. You got to wear a mask the entire time you're in there when they're doing the game in a mask, which is not easy to do, not hard to do, I guess. I mean, it's just kind of uncomfortable more than anything else, but you just don't get, that feeling of Greg. You don't, sit down where the emotions of the players, or you're not close to it where you can hear them talk and the coaches talk, and you can't see the expressions maybe up close or things in the huddle. It's a different environment, no question about it. But I'm just so happy to be playing right now. I mean, you have to do what you have to do. And they were going to put a plexiglass kind of shield up in there for us, but they haven't done it so far where we could take our mask off and do the game. But right now we're just sitting across from each other. I'm in one little row of seats, and my broadcast partner has been Jet Brightwell early in the year. He's on the left side. We just kind of look over at each other and try to go with the flow there. But, yeah, it's different, no question about it.
We talked earlier about this game versus Auburn. This is not a great Auburn team by any means, which makes it, it's not a chance for a premier win necessarily, but it's a game the Tigers really can ill afford to lose. You've already taken a couple of losses. There's not a whole lot of opportunities for great wins on the schedule anyway, outside of Houston in conference play. So this becomes an important game tomorrow for the Tigers.
It certainly does, and I think you made a great point. From this point on, it's in the conference, so you don't get a lot of opportunities, obviously, to make statements out of your league. And right now, this is a strange Auburn team, no question. They lost all 5 starters from last year. Nobody's back. And of course, Okoro goes and leaves as well early, and they're a strange team. They're still tinkering in the lineup, Eli, to be honest with you, a little bit. They started guys pretty consistent. Well, all of a sudden, they moved Justin Powell into the starting lineup. Now, he's kind of a hybrid forward guard guy at 6'6" that shoots a threes. I don't know if they're going to continue to do that or not against the Tigers. He's a guy that was from Louisville Trinity High School, that went to Florida, got homesick, came back, had to sit out, and then he transferred to another school called North Oldham in Kentucky, and he is a guy that can fill it up from three-point range. So I think that's something that they're looking at because they shoot a tremendous amount of threes, 35 threes a game, much like Mississippi Valley. Not the same style, obviously, but the 35 number. They're a team that's short on experience, no starters back from last year, very young team, probably the youngest team that Bruce Pearl has had in his whole coaching tenure, I think. But they're a team that has some pieces. They're not real big. They're aggressive. They crash the boards, and typical team Bruce Pearl to come after you defensively, play sometime a 3-guard lineup, sometime even a 4-guard lineup if they have to with one big. So they're a different kind of basketball team, but a team that certainly is looking to get their season going. Boy, they got a couple of losses on there already that kind of scratch your head a little bit. UCF was one of them. They went down there and just didn't shoot the basketball, which they've been able to do most of the year, and lost a very disappointing game down in Orlando. So they're a team looking to make a statement, I guess, as well as they go get ready to play in the SEC.
Matt, what did we learn about the Tigers over the last 3 games against inferior opponents, all home games, but compared to the first 3 of the season? Have you seen improvement?
Oh, sure. I think they've improved. The competition certainly has not been as good as it was up in Sioux Falls, but I think guys are starting to learn the roles a little bit better now, Greg. I think you've seen that. They're starting to defensively get after people and do things that I think they're going to be better for them going forward. They're forcing a lot of turnovers right now by the opponents. People are having trouble against this Tiger pressure defense. I think one thing for them, they've gotten better play out of Cisse. I think he's progressing along, especially defensively. He's a guy that blocks shots. You got to think about him as a defender and rim protector inside. Lester has gotten healthy. I think more of his role is starting to come out. And if you look at Lester, he may be the real key to this team coming out as a leader right now. Another double-double the other night against Mississippi Valley State. He's up into double figures now, over 5 rebounds a game, distributing the basketball. He's kind of started to be the leader. And that's a lot to ask of a guy that's in his second year, but this is the kind of team it is. And I think as young as they are still, there's no seniors on this team. I think they're starting to understand maybe what Coach Hardaway wants them to do on both ends of the floor. And I like the aggressiveness. So they seem much more aggressive than they did in that tournament up in Sioux Falls.
The certainly the what of the, you mentioned some of the things and DJ Jeffries, who just that in Sioux Falls just didn't look like he was. I don't know. It just didn't look like he was ready or was kind of there mentally. This team obviously needs him. From what you've seen over these last 3, do you feel like he's ready to be that, or again, was it more just because these were inferior opponents who really didn't have anybody who could do much to stop him?
I think maybe a little of the opponents. I think he's trying. He struggled to shoot the ball this year, and I think it's affected at times other parts of his game. He started to put the ball on the floor and get more aggressive the other night. That's something I really wanted to see from him, because he's a guy that is so talented and skilled. He can finish at the rim. He can pull up and he can take threes. The big thing, I want to see him go to the free throw line, because he didn't do that much until the other night. And you look at him and you take him and Nolly together now. I think about this. They only attempted 31 free throws between those two guys. Now, they can hit them great percentages, both of them up in the 80s, but he didn't go to the hole very much. He wanted to stand out and kind of shoot threes, 3 of 15 for Jeffries right now. And I think once he started getting aggressive and doing some things with the ball, his game started lifting up. But they're going to have him, Eli, and there's no question about it, because he's a nightmare matchup for teams, the way he can put the ball on the floor when he wants to and goes to the rim strong. I want to see him do it against a team like Auburn. And if he does that, he opens up so many more lanes and everything else for the Tigers offense. And I think Musa getting some more shots and doing some things was probably one of the consequences of Jeffries opening the floor up a little bit and stretching some things out, making defenders be honest on him, because they were just standing out there, at the three-point line trying to keep him from shooting long threes. Well, now he puts it on the floor, and they got to guard him. So I think it certainly made a big, I think part of the success of these 3 games. And let's be honest, the opponents weren't as good as they were before. But I think the staff really wanted to see, guys like Jeffries and some of the younger players, get these 3 games in at home, get comfortable, and get back into the groove. And I think that's what they've been able to do.
Well, 6 games into the season, it still appears, and maybe he got the answers he was looking for, Penny Hardaway I'm talking about, with the point guard position. Because early on it was Alex Lomax. Then it looked like he had come to the conclusion that maybe he shouldn't start Alex Lomax. And then for one game it was Boogie Ellis starting in the backcourt with Damian Ball. And then Ball had some issues with his back. The last game we saw Jaden Hardaway and Lester Quinones with the basketball. So I don't know if he's sold on who the point guard should be, and it seems like it's been a lot of experimenting going on. What do you think should happen moving forward? Who do you expect to have the basketball in their hands for the most part of the game, and do you expect Damian Ball back for tomorrow?
Well, I do. Now, he's the guy I really like right now for a couple of reasons, and nothing against Alex. We had Alex on after the game the other night, and he kind of said, well, if I don't start, I can watch what's going on and get into the flow of the game and see what I need to do. And they put him in, and I thought tonight that role was really great for him.
Yes.
There's situations where you maybe could start him if you're a quicker, smaller team, things like that. But I like Damian Bobick for a couple of things. He's bigger than last year. He's a guy that's a load, Greg. I'm telling you, man. He's got good length. He's a good defender. He goes in and rebounds. He went in and got a couple offensive rebounds the last time out. So he's got 7 offensive rebounds already this year. He's a guy that's improved offensively. He's found places and spots he can score on the floor. And as a defender, I think he's a guy that can really give guys trouble. He hasn't turned the ball over very much. He's got a great ratio, 15-9. Assists to turnovers. I like his length, and I think he understands, and he kind of plays within himself, it seems like, here early in the year. I think he's learned what he has to do. And certainly you've got other guys, and Lester, again, going back to Lester, here's a guy you can put out there at the 1 in stretches if you have to. And he's a big matchup problem, too, for people if you put him at the 1. He's good enough to handle the ball. He can shoot it outside on the perimeter. Great. Man, I tell you what, great passing the ball, 21 assists to 8 turnovers thus far. But I think you like him, for rebounding and other things, guarding guys down on the front line. And I like Damian Bob myself right now, and nothing against Alex again. Alex can play, and he's a good player in his own right as well because he distributes the ball, leads them in assist, can do some things. Offensively, I just think in the long run, maybe Damian Barrack can give you a little bit more.
You mentioned that Auburn shoots a lot of threes, and I mentioned earlier they're number 1 in the nation in percentage of field goal attempts that are three-pointers. 58.4% of their field goal attempts come from three-point range, which is amazing. I was looking at it, actually, and the guy leading them in three-point attempts is the former Tiger, Jamal Johnson.
That's exactly right. He is the guy that really designated to come off the bench to be a three-point shooter. He did it last year for him in a relief role. Now, he's not starting. He's coming off the bench right now. But you look at the minutes on him, Eli, that's pretty well separated. I mean, they got most of the guys in there either anywhere from 18 to 22 minutes. And that's the thing that Bruce Pearl does. He'll rotate guys in and out. He'll put 2 or 3 substitutions in at a time. They play very aggressive. They'll come after you. They'll go to the three-point line. So what it tells me, one thing in this game, the Tigers must get back in transition against this team on Saturday, because if they don't, they have multiple shooters, and their bigs can shoot the 3. That's another thing. A lot of teams, your bigs don't do it. Well, their bigs go out, and they take shots on the perimeter. Now, even Thor, a guy like him, will go out there. He's taking 14 threes, hasn't hit but 3 of them, but still there's the threat of having multiple guys on the perimeter. So you got to hustle back, and you got to set up that wall on defense and be ready, because they're going to cut them loose. Mm-hmm. And as we know, and we've seen so many times, that's a big equalizer. You pop 2 or 3 of those in a row, you get a run going, and they can score points in bunches right now. And I think that's something that Bruce Pearl certainly likes to do traditionally. I think the big thing for them in this game, their 3 shooting is good, but they don't handle the ball very well. Eli, I think that's going to be a thing that the Tigers can hurt them with a little bit. They can turn them over, I think, with their pressure defense. I do believe Auburn is a team that certainly likes to play fast, and sometimes they pay the price. You're talking about 18 turnovers a game. That's a lot for a Bruce Pearl team, and that could be one of the big deciding factors in this game on Saturday.
Yeah, they're 264th in the nation in turnover percentage.
Not very good.
Yeah, they basically turn it over it's basically 25%. So they basically have 1 out of every 4 possessions is a turnover.
And that's the youth of the team. And when you lose so many players from a year ago, right? Their 6 top scorers from a year ago are gone. I'm not sure if you had a chance, Matt, and I was asking Eli during the last break, but I saw the story. I haven't seen the story. I just saw that Jason Munz has a story up at the Commercial Appeal that talks about the tip-off being changed from 8 to 4, and it says, why was Memphis-Auburn tip-off time changed? ? Bruce Pearl. Do you know what is that all about?
Well, it's Bruce Pearl. It's funny because with the change for the Tigers football game, Bruce Pearl told them that they didn't want to play late game because he did not want to conflict with the Auburn football game. He said he didn't want their fans to have to choose between basketball and football. So he said flip-flop it or whatever, and they did it. And now because the Memphis football game got pushed back, Memphis ends up being in a conflict time-wise between football and basketball.
Oh, that's right. We have to be split up tomorrow on broadcast crew. You're exactly right about that. And Coach Hardaway told us on the post game that he wasn't really upset about it. I guess he likes not sitting around all day, and he wants to get up, go through what your pregame ritual is, and go on and play. And I think the team is not really upset about it, but it's really strange. All of a sudden, boom, you got the thing changed. It was set for a long time, and now you've got the game going against each other. Very interesting development with that. But this Auburn game, guys, again, I think it's very important. I know they're not, ranked right now and all this, but, the 2 years away from the Final Four. They were a good team last year, won over 25 games last year. They're a team that has that name recognition. So when you look and see that, people will naturally, I think, will tune in probably. They may skip around on it, watch football, but I think they'll skip over and say, hey, here's Auburn and Memphis playing basketball. So it certainly doesn't hurt, and be very, very nice to get this victory as you get ready to start conference play next week against Tulane. And guys, I can't believe we're already playing league games. So this is certainly a different year.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Auburn is a name brand, and it would be look, you need to win the game. And even though it's neutral court, not a true road game, it's still important, even though their RPI is not great now. But it's a team that certainly, with talented young players, can get better and better. So this is very important for the Memphis Tigers. I'm sure it's also important for the Auburn Tigers as well. Matt, real quick, we have 30 seconds. We were talking about it earlier. Not Lester Quinones, but Landers Nolly fell hard in the last game, injured his wrist. Penny seems to think that he'll be able to go. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. How much can he play? I don't know. They really need him. But I'll tell you one thing. He is a smooth shooter. If you leave him open with his feet set, he's certainly going to make you pay the price. And that's something that I think, if he can go and play, will be a bonus for the Tigers because he opens up another offensive weapon for them.
He is Matt Dillon, University of Memphis Tigers basketball radio analyst and historian. Make sure to listen to him tomorrow on the call with Jeff Brightwell, the Tigers versus the Tigers from State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Unfortunately, Matt, not on location, but he'll have a great broadcast nonetheless. And make sure you catch him every Friday during the Tigers basketball season for the Tiger Basketball Report. Matt, thank you. Have a great call, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Go Tigers. Talk
Take
to you
care.
later.
Tiger Basketball Report brought to you by Binswanger Glass, Central Barbecue, Paradise Cafe, Crab Kings, Collierville Auto Center, A&J's Catfish Station, and Southall Cafe.
So there's some interesting words from – all of a sudden, Dabo Swinney has become – a very vocal guy and usually controversial. Well, that has happened again. We will discuss when we return. We got 10 in a row coming up in our final half hour. The velvet tones of the late, great Barry White to take us to break.
Lord, some things I can't get used to, no matter how I try. It's like the more you give, the more I want. And baby, that's no lie.
Do you have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Are you part of the cash economy but want to bet online? Action 24/7 has you covered. Deposit and withdrawal in cash. Place your bet online. Action Action 24/7 has more than 100 partners in Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals. Visit action247.com for a location near you. Cash deposits and withdrawals from your Tennessee sportsbook. Action247.com. You got action.
Must be 21 or older and in Tennessee. For problem gambling support, call 800-889-9789.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from TaylorMade. The Sim Shape and Motion series featuring the Sim, Sim Max, and Sim Max D type families. Find increased speed and distance with Sim. And be sure to stock up and save on TaylorMade TP5 and TP5X golf balls, now only $39.99. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The holidays are just around the corner. Have you heard what James Gaddis Jewelers is doing? Everything. James Gaddis has everything for your family, friends, and loved ones. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold and silver, and more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, diamonds, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces. So many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. And with the experts at James Gaddis, pick out the most dazzling and beautiful diamond, bridal, and engagement rings. Plus, 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. You can find everything to fit your style and budget with layaway and financing available. James Gaddis, a Memphis tradition, local and family owned. Whatever your holiday dream, make it come true at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar.
Be sure to listen for the Memphis Sports Fact, brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers each Monday and Friday on Sports 56 Middays.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte, ME 29910, MSRP 20,625, Soul M7755 682, MSRP 20,315, K5MG 003-199, MSRP 25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit warranty, is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we got you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte, $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte, $142, Soul, $148, Kia K5, $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So you think you're a Romeo, playing a part in a picture show. We'll take the long way home.
Welcome back, everybody. The superintendent of Memphis Shelby County Schools, Dr. Joris M. Ray, has announced due to the surge in COVID-19 cases, the board and I agree that we need to delay our gradual reopening and return no earlier than the second semester, which begins on February 8th. So, again, these poor kids, virtual learning, I don't know how much you learn virtually. I know parents are doing the best they can and teachers, obviously. But, man, this is rough. So another delay in getting the kids back into the schools.
Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate, and to me, well, I won't get into that again. I don't understand. So I will. But those people are paid to make those decisions. So by golly, make those decisions.
So Dabo Swinney, the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, I don't know when all of a sudden it was that you looked at Dabo as a controversial figure, but in the last year plus, everything that comes out of his mouth is controversial. I love him. I think he's an absolutely terrific coach. And this, again, I agree with. We've had the debate on this show many times. This was via the Rich Eisen show. He was on the Rich Eisen show. And he was asked about the playoff and all that deal. If I was on a committee, it would be hard for me to leave out a 10-1 Texas A&M or an 11-game Florida team over a team that's played 6 games. Dabo Swinney on why he doesn't think Ohio State's resume is enough for the college football playoff. Thoughts?
I can see somebody having that opinion. I disagree with it. I mean, I think, but I could absolutely understand. It's a weird year. Teams have played all different numbers of games. Trying to sort through that is not an easy thing, and what is worthy of a playoff, what is not. I can certainly understand the idea that saying that 6 and 11, trying to decipher between the two is tough. I just believe that Ohio State at 6-0 would be worthy of being in the playoff.
Gabe?
I think this year a lot of people need to. He can have that opinion. A lot of people have that opinion, and you're of that opinion. But I think a lot of people need to realize that these sort of resumes need to be looked at differently because this year is just so much different. But he's entitled to his opinion. He absolutely is.
Pete Futak, who has been on our program before, said the college football system so needs a tweak. If Clemson loses again to Notre Dame, is it still one of the 4 best teams? Yeah. Would it deserve to have a shot to play for the national title? Not really. He says 6 teams, all 5 Power 5 champions, top group of 5 champion, or 8 with 2 wild cards. Win your way in. I think there's no doubt we're going down that avenue. Now, our good friend Bill Hancock, who's been on the show many times, he's with the team, man. He's a team player. He's never going to look at tweaks to the system because it's always great to him, and then we end up having tweaks to the system. But right now they're under contract through, is it 2025, Eli? Do you know?
24, 25, somewhere in that range that this current contract, I think, goes through.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean they couldn't tweak the system, change things around while this contract is still ongoing, while they're still under contract for this system. They could certainly do that, but it doesn't appear that maybe they will. But I think for the future, they're going to add teams. I think it's an absolute no-brainer that they'll add teams. From the NFL, Mike McCarthy, your boy, says better days ahead for the Cowboys. Do you believe that? I guess they can't get worse, right?
I hope so. By golly, I don't know how it could get worse.
I guess the question is how much better, right?
I mean, yeah, if it doesn't get better than this, by golly, then we got some real problems down in Big D.
NFL all over the weekend. Sunday, the Chiefs and the Dolphins. We'll have that game for you starting at noon. Steelers and the Bills. That'll be the night game. We'll have it for you at 7 p.m. right here on Sports 56. From the NBA, Paul George gets the max deal with the Clippers. I think the Clippers made their bed, and they had to do this. Paul George is a terrific player. There's no question about it. He's a terrific player. Playoff Paul, not so good. I think he's overvalued. I think he's overrated. Again, doesn't mean that I don't think he's a really good player, but I think he's an overrated player. But I think the Clippers their hand kind of was forced when they traded away the farm to get him from Oklahoma City. And when Kawhi decides to leave, once he gets frustrated and leaves Los Angeles to go who knows where, then they're in trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are fully committed to this combination. I mean, they put it all on the table for Kawhi and Paul George, and so you have to give Paul George, you have to keep Paul George, and yeah, I think Paul George probably is a little overrated of what he actually is, but in today's landscape, does Paul George deserve a max contract? Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a max contract. In today's NBA marketplace, Paul George is getting a max contract.
Kyrie Irving and I think Kevin Durant, if I'm not mistaken, were both fined by the NBA. $25,000 for failure to comply with the league's media rules. I know Irving was. I think Durant was as well. Correct?
I don't know. I don't believe Durant. The Nets were.
The
Kyrie
Nets.
was.
Okay, excuse me then. So Kyrie Irving gets fined $25,000. The fines result from Irving's refusal on several occasions this week to participate in the team media availability. And again, it's all virtual. It's not like he's dealing with media in front of him. The NBA requires that healthy players be made available to reporters before or after games and practices. Typically, the league also has teams set aside one day at the beginning of training camp for every player on the roster, as well as the GM and coach to speak to reporters. Now, Irving appeared to respond on Instagram. I pray we utilize the fine money for the marginalized communities in need, especially seeing where our world is presently. I am here for peace, love, and greatness. So stop distracting me and my team and appreciate the art. We move different over here. I do not talk to pawns. My attention is worth more. He is a weirdo.
He's an idiot. It's real. I love so the media is pawns now, apparently. And they're not worthy of talking to the great Kyrie Irving.
He's a frustrating human being.
It bothers me that he blames everything that comes out of his mouth on the media. He's the one that said the world was flat. He's the one who said that now that he's with KD, he finally feels like he has another guy that can produce in clutch moments. Like, he's the one who said all this. It's not the media.
The fans who support whatever the sport may be to allow these players to make the money they make and live the way they live all stems from how the media, in my opinion, over the years covered the sport. If it was really the Bird Magic time period that elevated the NBA to the next stratosphere. Those games were on TV more. There were more NBA games. There were regionalized television networks and things of that nature as well. There was more exposure because the media decided to do that, whether it be the networks or the TV station, whatever the case may be. And then the individual media, nationally, regionally, and locally, covered that sport more, which made it more important to the fan base out there saying that we want to watch this, or we are getting the chance to watch, and we like what we're seeing. Therefore, more money, obviously higher salaries, and on and on and on. It is a domino effect, but the media is a huge part of swaying things one way or the other, and they've swayed the NBA into this prominent sport that it is.
I think the issue I have with Kyrie most is it's just never, ever been his fault, ever. Nothing has ever been on his shoulders. He always blames someone else for his issues, and that's a bad quality to have in a human being.
And then what did he just say about Kevin Durant, which was a diss at LeBron? Didn't he just say something?
That's what I mentioned.
The clutch shot.
The clutch shot,
He was playing with somebody that he could trust taking a clutch shot or whatever. And LeBron responded on the whatever, which I can't remember what podcast he was on and all that stuff. But no, it's the thing to me that's funny is that to me, Kyrie seems like he seeks the attention, yet
says he doesn't want
to talk to the media where he could get his attention.
Yeah, he's a hard dude to figure out, and I don't think he can be figured out.
I think you can figure him out pretty easily. I think he's an idiot. I think I've got him figured out. I think he's just an idiot. And he just I don't know.
How much did he change? I wonder from his time at Duke under Krzyzewski. I can't imagine he was like that.
Well, heck, he didn't play a whole lot there, so I mean, he was only there briefly for those, and only played the few games because he was hurt while he was there. So
yeah, I mean, Coach K is going to take a player that certainly can perform on the court. He's not going to take somebody who's a cool dude but can't play basketball. But I can't imagine he's also going to take somebody who could be a problem. I'm not saying that Kyrie is a problem. He's just a complex human being.
New Life Medical Center's at 9160 Highway 64. Primary and urgent care. They do everything. They'll treat whatever it is that ails you at New Life Medical Center. And they now do have COVID testing available for you as well at New Life Medical Center. And they come out to you. You don't go in. You come on out. Pull up in your car. Give them a call. They come out. They'll do all the paperwork, all the testing there in your car, so you do not have to get out and go inside. It is not the rapid testing, but they do get the results normally in 24 to 36 hours with those COVID tests. Insurance covers the testing. If you do not have insurance, the COVID-19 lab test can be covered by the CARES Act as well. It's at New Life Medical Center, 9160 Highway 64. The phone number, if you do have any questions, that you can give them a call and they'll answer those for you, 213-0100. That's 213-0100. Again, this is located at 9160 Highway 64. It's not far off I-40. It's in the little shopping center there called the Shops at Stonebridge. They're open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturday at New Life Medical Center.
All right, let's play 10 in a row. We'll do it after the break. You can call in right now at 360-8255. 360-8255. 10 in a row is next. This is Sports 56 Middays.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
So you're watching the game and you see another ad for FanDuel Sportsbook and you think to yourself, is that legal here in Tennessee? You bet it is. FanDuel Sportsbook. Now legal in Tennessee. You can place your first bet on FanDuel Sportsbook risk-free and get up to $1,000 back if you don't win. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in bonus site credit so you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. Sunday NFL games, Monday night game, Thursday night games, all the college games, conference championship games coming up, all the college basketball and the NBA on the way. And with FanDuel Sportsbook, generous risk-free bets are just the beginning. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types such as same-game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. And once you win on FanDuel, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know we sent you. That's promo code CASH. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
When you visit Navy Liquor at 7866 Highway 51 in Millington, you'll be treated like family by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Select are your favorite bourbon, vodka, scotch, beer, tequila, gin, and rum, as well as wines from all over the world. An amazing selection of sakis, too. Coldest beer in town. Beer kegs are available. Any beer, any wine, any liquor. You got the Navy Liquor hookup. Come see us, holiday or any other occasion. Navy Liquor, corner of Highway 51 and Navy Road in Millington.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about
about that?
We call that a 3-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quincy and White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Middle of the road, he's trying to find me.
You probably just heard Fred talking about FanDuel Sportsbook, so I'm not going to go through the whole script again. I'm going to go off script here and just remind you that, yes, while sports gambling is legal in Tennessee, there are a number of different books, a number of different options. Why I think FanDuel Sportsbook is the best option. First of all, it's real simple to use, simple to get the money in, simple to make the bets, and simple to be paid, as they'll pay you with your winnings in as low as 24 hours. But I still go back to the Sunday night game this past Sunday night with Denver and Kansas City on that weird play where Tyreek Hill didn't even know he had caught the ball, and they never they never called for the replay, Andy Reid, because he had no idea. Well, what did they do at FanDuel Sportsbook? They paid off everybody. They paid off everybody because they knew it was really a touchdown. It should have been reviewed, and that should have been a win for everybody. They paid off everybody. Look, they want to make money. They're a business. They want to make a lot of money, but they want to treat their customers right. And that's what they do at FanDuel Sportsbook. So make sure you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Be sure to sign up with promo code GASMAN so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or older, present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable, expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789. Grizzlies have announced, Eli, that Mario Hezonja has been waived, officially waived. And according to Shams, multiple teams expected to express interest in Mario Hezonja. It is time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It's 10 in a row, 360-8255. We have a couple of open lines. Eli, what are the listeners playing for?
By the way, more like Mario hardly knew you. The winner of 10 in a row is going to get a $25 gift certificate to Sweetgrass. Not sure if they have veal there or not. And $50 to 117 Prime. I'm sure they do have veal there.
Very nice. All right, let's get going. Oh, wait, let me give them the question. Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season. Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season. 360-8255.
All right. Again, $50 to 117 Prime downtown. $25 to Sweetgrass. They're at Cooper Young. Going to the winner of 10 in a row. 360-8255, the phone number for the First Bank phone line. Let's go to, Steve is first up. Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season. Clemson.
Okay.
Clemson.
I'm ready. Yes.
Kentucky.
No.
USC.
No.
360-8255. Jump on the phone lines right now. The First Bank phone lines are open here. Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season. We don't have a ton of time, so give it a crack.
If they are undefeated overall, that would probably have to be a yes.
That would make sense.
That's a hint. I'm going to give everybody a hint. If they have not lost a game, they probably did not lose a home game. 360-8255. David is next up. Hey, David.
Hi, David.
Hey, guys.
BYU.
Yes.
Texas A&M.
No.
360-8255. Next.
Next up, we go to George. Hey, George.
Hi, George.
George.
George, you there?
George was in a wrestling match.
I thought he was maybe, when you get the tissue paper when you're wrapping a present.
George, hopefully you're okay. I think somebody just attacked George right as he was trying to get on the air. Let's go to Gary next. Hey, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, guys.
Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season. Clemson.
Yes.
Kentucky.
No.
USC.
Yes.
Washington.
No.
San Jose State.
Yes.
Colorado.
No.
360-8255. That would be one of those undefeated things
I'll
you just
I'll
brought
repeat
up.
my hint. If a team has not lost a game at all, they probably did not lose a home game. That's just a little hint. Just a little hint. It doesn't have to be a rule. Just a little hint. 360-8255. 360-8255. Open lines for you to get in. Again, you got $75 worth of great food and drink that you can win. $50 to 117 Prime, great steakhouse downtown. $25 to Sweetgrass at Cooper and Young. You can win all of that. All you got to do is be the winner of 10 in a row.
Yeah, we only have a few more minutes, folks, so jump on here now. Nothing to be embarrassed about. All you're saying is yes or no. We're not asking you just a blanket question that you can embarrass yourself with a really bad answer. Nah, it's never an embarrassment. You always got to. When I was a kid, I used to do this all the time. Our local radio station, I always jumped in there, try to guess the trivia question. Sometimes I was lucky. Sometimes I was not. 360-8255. 360-8255. Teams that have gone undefeated at home so far this college football season, this wacky 2020 college football season.
All right. Let's see. Next up is Doug. What's up, Doug?
Hey, Doug.
Yes. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Here we go. BYU.
Yes.
Texas A&M.
Yes.
SMU.
No.
Ohio University.
No.
360-8255. Few more minutes. Jump on the phone lines right now if you want to play 10 in a row. If I don't see those phones lighting up here in the next 30 seconds, we're done.
Ohio University at the people.
Yeah, through a little Ohio U.
Coming with Ohio U.
The Bobcats?
Yes.
That's Frank Solich's team, isn't it?
It is indeed.
There you go, the Fighting Soliches.
I couldn't tell you how many games they've even played.
Reminder,
let alone how many home games.
Tomorrow, Ole Miss and North Carolina Wilmington, 3:30. We'll have it for you on Sports 56. I already mentioned the lineup for Sunday with the Chiefs at the Dolphins at noon, Steelers at the Bills at 7. All right, we got a few more, and then we'll have to wrap it up.
I do have a couple of open lines still, 360-8255. Again, $50 to 117 Prime, $25 to Sweetgrass, going to the winner of 10 in a row today. Let's see what Ben can do. Hey, Ben.
All right, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well, thank you. Clemson.
Yes.
Kentucky.
No.
USC.
Yes.
Washington.
No.
San Jose State.
Yes.
Colorado.
Yes.
North Carolina.
No.
Memphis.
No.
Oh.
360-8255.
Did so well.
The fifth longest winning streak in the country.
Maybe he's making a bold prediction about tomorrow, but that's that's tomorrow. This is being done today.
Oh man, I thought he'd nail that one. All right,
Paul, what's up?
Hey, Paul.
What's going on today, guys?
Not too much. We got a few moments. These are our last two. BYU.
Yeah.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
SMU.
No.
Ohio University.
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Next.
John is next.
Hey,
John.
We got John, and then if John doesn't win, we got Doug. That's it. All right, John. Clemson.
Yes.
Kentucky.
No.
USC.
Yes.
Washington.
No.
San Jose State.
Yes.
Colorado.
Yes.
North Carolina.
No.
Memphis.
No.
Oh.
Is this a different Doug, by the way? Okay, let's go to Doug. Doug 2 to see if he can win.
Give him that list.
Yeah, this is different.
Give him that list.
All right, Doug, I'm going back to the first list. We've never done this before. We want you to win. Clemson.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
No.
USC.
Yeah.
Washington.
No.
San Jose State.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
No.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Just wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. I didn't get to Appalachian State. It was a no. Obviously, Tulsa would be a. Eli?
Yes, because the Oklahoma State game was at Oklahoma State.
It would be a yes. We didn't get to on the second list Cincinnati.
Yes.
Ole Miss?
No.
Northwestern?
Yes.
Miami of Florida?
Yes.
Say it. TCU?
No.
Hey, you did a good job.
I can't remember if
Unfortunately,
Miami played with that Miami game was at Clemson or at home.
yeah, it was on the road. So you did a good job, but unfortunately, you can't keep the gift cards. That means we got some goodies again next Friday for you. No winner, unfortunately, this week with 10 in a row. I want to thank Pete Pranica, Chris Vanini, and Matt Dillon for joining us today. It's a busy sports weekend, and we got it covered for you on Monday starting at 10 o'clock. But right now, it's Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio, so stay tuned for that. For Eli Savoy and Gabe Kuhn, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Stranger, I'm not. But buddy, let me tell